Rawr.
Rawr. Rawr.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a slummy, I go blam. I like keep on down. Take the man that say that I'm a slummy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like keep on down. Informer, you know, say that I'm a slummy, I go blam. I like keep on down. Take the man that say that I'm a slummy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like keep on down. So big on them, they think they have more power. They on the phone, me say they wanna want me for once I use it once and now me toes just a show up. When me a ballin' on the one you run so informer. You know say that I'm a slummy, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a slummy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like it boom boom down. Informer. You know say that I'm a slummy, I go glam. I like it boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a slummy, stab somewhere down the lane. I like it boom boom down.
Welcome. I'm on
You're
my
just
last bite.
You're just obsessed
Howdy
with
do.
licking boo booms.
Dude, somebody take over.
Welcome to the speakeasy at night.
You're an idiot. It's
Believe
not
it or not, you're
speakeasy
not
at
the only
night.
one who's eating while muted.
Oh, sorry.
so-
Welcome to the Wednesday Live.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hello.
Yep. Welcome
Let's
to
go.
the
Stop that.
Oh,
speakeasy.
do not take me out for
sorry.
not changing the background.
You didn't change the background either. Really, I didn't even notice that.
I mean,
Come
you asked
on,
me to get
man.
it going, so I
You've done
went
such
with
a
it.
horrible job. You know, last night, hey Sean, last night, like we had a very peaceful, calm, and rational discussion on fridging, and everything went perfect. And now you're here.
And
Aw.
things just got much better, more interesting.
We'll give people a chance to come in, but in the back, you're gonna find the link to watch together. And Yeti, you're the press play, not the press play. You're gonna be the one sharing the screen. This is where we can all press pause when we need to.
Yeti is the sharer. The sharer? The sharer? How would
Why
you say
can I
that?
hear it? Who pressed play on it?
What?
Man, I lost my place in it, dude. Did anybody get the timestamp off that?
I know it was just before he was about to explain to us how Black Widow dying was fridging
Mm-hmm.
because she had no character development in 18 films.
Yeti, what are you
Man.
doing?
I'm trying to get this thing to go full screen, but it will not.
Okay, Yeti.
What?
Oh, it's right. Look, dude, right? I found it.
Black Widow was completely.
There's an echo, bro.
It's not coming from me.
Dude,
Hey,
there's
look.
an echo.
Oh,
Try
wait.
now.
We got to know. Sorry, everybody has a mute in there.
Yeah, we have to all mute when we go into that thing.
Yep, I
Nope.
just did so myself.
You know, one day we need to like sit down and go through all these different things so we can be prepared for a stream once.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Click on the freaking. No, you're turning your mic on. I'm telling you, Yeti, it's yours because it's going through.
Well, how is mine if it's not?
No,
it doesn't have
not there,
access?
not there. Right. So when you share a window,
Yeah.
it shares audio. So share again, unclick share audio.
Well, you didn't tell me.
No, wait,
about
no,
that.
sorry.
Oh,
No, hold on, sorry.
oh, you did that wrong.
Yeah, I did something backwards there, right?
Yeah. Don't worry, on the plus side, there's only 30 people watching us at the moment.
That's all right. Forget it. Yeti, share it the normal way. We'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, all right. While we get that ready, let's. You guys see the? I know Grant, Yeti. No, I don't know if Yeti saw it. You got you clones down there. Did y'all see the Obi-Wan?
Yeah,
Trailer?
I watched it. I was bored.
What's happening here?
I
Why
put
is
out
he
a
here?
little video to do with it. Only yesterday, actually.
Where did he go?
Oh, he's gone.
Somebody invite him back. Oh my gosh, he's so emotional.
Man, he got on. He's like, "Oh no, not these guys."
No, it's probably because I said who invited him. How did he get in here? I'm inviting him back. I guess we did pretty good timing. If I don't know if they had a chance to say, "Hey, our buddy Matt is doing something."
Okay, so yeah, he's still on the other stream. He just popped in just to see what the link was that someone on the panel sent him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're not important enough. That's what he decided.
He's a completionist. He wants to complete one thing before he starts another, I guess.
Except he popped in first.
Yeah, just to see.
Well, dude, we were just trying to get him to promote us over on Comics Division. We weren't actually looking for him to come over
I
here.
did say I had to leave the chat because I was going over on this stream.
Yeah, no, I guess he doesn't have to come. You don't have to highlight that one. Who's highlighting that?
Yeti.
That wasn't me.
Yeti, don't grab your mouse over here and don't click like that and highlight it. Okay? Don't do that.
Did we ever get the twins' opinion about Obi-Wan, or are they still eating? What is happening tonight?
So unprofessional.
I
Why
told
would you
you.
come in here
I made a
eating?
video about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's right.
Haven't you watched it yet?
Of course
No,
I have.
I have. I've watched the trailer and everything, and I'm not impressed.
No, I meant Matt.
Oh wait,
He
didn't we
watched
talk
the
about it
video.
last night?
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
Ned
we
doesn't
did.
watch anything.
I think you, like me, must have been quite tired.
Yeah, I was. Hey, that
Yeah,
was really
didn't
the-
even pick up on my shoe joke. God.
Dude, I picked up on it the second time I watched. It was a good joke.
Yeah.
Even-
So
you-
yeah,
you-
I might have put someone's name on the Twitter thing to promote it just to see if they would turn up.
Why
But
would you do that?
apparently, I was just recently informed that it's impossible. Apparently, their court case did not go well today,
Wait, who?
so they
who
might
was
not
it?
be joining us.
Who did you
Juicy
choose?
Smoulier?
Yeah, it was a
No,
French
you
actor.
did not. Oh
Juicy
my
Smoulier.
god!
Yeah.
Why? You're not allowed to say his name?
Wow, dude.
Well, you never know what
Um,
Mama Susan thinks.
Well, she ain't charged no Twitter.
Well,
No
it is
small
Silicon
assassin.
Valley,
If
you
one
never
tweet
know.
eats if one tweet eats something, the other one does not get full. We're not signing
bro.
tweet.
That is true. That is true.
Thank God you're not Siamese twins. Ugh, man, I don't know how they do it. Just end it, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no privacy in masturbate.
Yes.
Okay.
You happy with that one?
Yeah,
You feel good
I'm
about it?
very happy with it. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. That was
I'm just gonna
perfectly
leave that
good.
right where it is.
See, the chat agrees.
Tell you what, we're gonna try to do. I don't know what this one is about, but because I want to wait a little bit longer before we do the trope one. Yeti, I am sending it to you now. It's in the private chat. This is called "What Makes a Spider-Man," and it's like 10 minutes. Anybody want to take a guess at what it's gonna be about?
What makes
Spiders
that-
and webs.
What
Well, I
makes
think
a
it's more in
Spider-Man,
a-
Did you say?
I think it's in more of a philosophical sense of what makes a Spider-Man.
I'll tell you what makes a Spider-Man. Not just the name. You know?
Saying it like Spider-Man.
What is that? A wave, bro?
Yeah, no,
What's Wookiee's thing?
you can't just label someone Spider-Man and expect everyone to go along with it.
You're racist.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a
I-
wave.
Racist with
I
taste.
disavow the twins because I don't know which one was talking because they looked and sounded
Wow.
alike. So I just disavow both.
All right. So, anybody want to take a guess at it? Okay, we'll just play it.
Like I said,
Yeah, go.
you're a spider and a man.
As I said, I need some context. Come on, man.
I don't. Well, that's why I was like, hey, let's guess and see what Wisecrack is gonna do. Is that what it's called?
When a
Cracking
spider
one.
and man fall in love,
Press
they
play.
get together, and that ends up making a Spider-Man.
No, dumb. It makes a spider baby. The spider baby has to turn into a spider boy and then a spider.
Don't you start gendering this. They haven't decided what they are yet.
Well, since the question was what makes a Spider-Man, it's already gendered.
No, because man is
that's a fair
already
point.
genderless in the universal term of
Right, but we're not using it in the universal term.
I just did. So
You did
there.
not. You did not declare that.
It's
Hey, invisible.
implied.
I'm about to imply my foot to your ass. Press play.
You know, I only like that when we're in private.
Mountain Dew.
I never know which asshole you wanted in.
Please, gentlemen.
What's up,
keep it
guys?
in the
Michael
bedroom.
here to talk about the importance of not.
Oh man,
Hey,
can we
do
pause
not
it? Pause
kink
it.
shame us.
Pause it.
Not kink shame.
I know Wook's a big fan of this guy. I'm not. I'm glad that he has a solid color shirt on this time, because whatever he was wearing the last time we saw him with that fucking background was unbearable.
Yes, it was messing up my wah.
Yeah,
You're
I don't know what your raw is, but
Wah.
wow, I don't. What is that, like your chi?
My energy field.
So your chi.
Yeah, my chi, my chakras. It's just messing
Your
everything up.
your tunkless?
What?
What? It's Spanish for like flip flops or some shit.
No, my chakras, my energy nodes.
Your aura?
I think he's culturally
Yeah,
appropriating
if you
things.
wish, whatever.
Dude, was the woo woo not enough for you? You got to come back in here with this?
Oh man,
Where's
This is-
Grant?
this
Did
is so
Grant leave?
unacceptable. I think he did leave.
I bet your ass does. Well, then you're. I guess I'll have to highlight Chad. You do the video. Not this asshole again, dude. He wasn't. Are you gonna press play?
Yeah, I will. I remember watching this guy like a couple years ago. Did he suddenly go really woke?
Wait, was
Oh,
he not
yeah.
woke a couple of years ago?
I don't remember him being like, because I remember him kind of roasting movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like, I feel like you were probably closer to being woke 2 years ago. Like, I feel like you two probably were closer to the middle.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, wait. I think that is those balls you throw up someone's butt. Oh man, press play, motherfucker.
MIT, or
Turn it up.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It's all the way up.
Biggest
All right.
installment of
I can hear it.
MCU Phase 4 to date, and a movie that's so hard not to spoil that we'll say this earlier than usual. Spoilers ahead for Spider-Man: No Way Home and all the previous Spider-Man films. So please,
Wait,
step away
you
from
guys
your
seen
device
it?
If you want a spoiler-free experience.
All right,
with the
we
movie.
can play
Okay.
something else.
Now
No,
that that's
No,
taken
we
care
don't
of,
mind.
ever since we saw this
Okay.
movie, we can't stop thinking about its most philosophically interesting aspect. No, it's not the multiverse, though that's cool, and you should definitely stick around for the post-credits.
Unless, should I really
Today,
see
we
the
want-
movie before we see this?
No, I don't. I have no idea. I haven't seen
The
this.
thing is, multiverse
Talk
isn't
about-
really to do with philosophy.
Yeah.
It's more to do. That's more to do with
Well,
quantum physics and that.
oh, dude, I would have never guessed.
Is the philosophy like
Well, I think what it's going to come down to.
on Spider-Man?
Well, no, I think what it's going to come down to, because like I kind of feel like this guy is at a very low level knowledge of philosophy. So I think the first thing he's going to go to, maybe he's going to bring up the boat, your grandfather's boat thought experiment. You know, the one like where you get your grandfather's boat, right? You have to replace this, replace that. It's easier with a hammer, right? If you have your grandfather's hammer and then the head comes off of the stick, you got to go get a new stick because it's broke. So you put a new stick there, and then you chip the hammer, the metal part, and you got to go.
And ultimately, you add all these parts and take stuff away.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
it still your grandfather's hammer? Yeah.
Exactly. I think he
Yeah, I
may
know that one.
he may go into that one. because that's what
Okay.
a first year philosophy student would do. So let's find out.
about identity, meaning how we become who we are, who is involved in this process, and how our identities can be
Damn it.
changed and challenged.
You went a
So
different way.
put all your magical spells in a safely sealed box, put down your
He
side
might go
copy of
there.
Flashpoint, and
I
grab
hate
your
this
favorite
guy.
donut and coffee combo, because today we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. What makes
I
a
hate
Okay,
this
is
guy.
this a different guy than the one that does like kind of the roasts of movies? Or is it all the same
What do
guy
you
and
mean
he,
by
like,
roast?
Okay, so I remember Wisecrack Media making fun of things before.
Yeah, when they were funny. Now they're
Oh, okay. So
they're
I
active.
clearly have not watched
like
them in a
they're
long
yeah
time.
they're activists now. So
It seems
Oh.
they're no longer funny. They've gone down the activistic route,
yeah.
and they're not allowed to be funny.
Well, because like all
when you're funny, you make fun of people, and you can't have that.
well,
Oh
not,
yeah,
I mean,
Reddit hated my last roast. They did
Oh, why?
not like that. Because I made jokes that make fun of everyone, and
Dude. Was it my jokes?
there's a mix of jokes. Like I think they found it offensive just overall.
This is what you watch when nobody's around, Yeti. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Spider-Man. But before we get into it, I wanted to take a second to talk about this episode's sponsor, Mountain Dew. There are times when you're looking,
Can you fast forward this? I don't care about it.
you deserve
Mountain Dew.
and
That's
from the
that's
concept
a
of the multiverse,
weird
but
fucking
mostly from
sponsor
Mountain Dew.
Right?
Now,
for
back
for
to the
for
Peter
YouTube.
Parker, or Spider-Man, has had a rough time during his run in the MCU. He's fought a purple sack chin titan set on destroying half the life in the galaxy. He's been snapped into oblivion for 5 years, and he's had to watch his mentor and surrogate father figure die, all while trying to survive the Infinity War that is high school. All of these experiences have profoundly shaped his identity. Infinity War
Okay.
and Endgame have left him
God.
kind of traumatized. Losing
First of
Tony
all,
is
dude.
even more dependent on Aunt May and his wannabe Uncle Happy. And his relationships with Ned and MJ have given
Oh,
him
yeah,
these
they
somewhat
don't have
Can
carefree
you
Joy
pause
joy as a
it?
teenager
Can you pause it every
navigating
once in a
things.
while so we can talk? Thank you.
Yeah, no. I was looking at their site, and yeah, they don't make fun of things anymore at all.
No, they're not funny. I'm gonna need you
No.
to stick by the play button though, so you can pause it.
Oh yeah, I will. I will now.
Oh. Anyway, what I was gonna say was like, dude, you don't have to look that shit up. You know he's not funny because you heard the 3 jokes he threw out in the beginning. So grab your coffee and put your magical spells in a lockbox. Like, who are you trying to be funny for? You're not. It's not working. 2.
This
I
is
don't
what
like the
happens
way
when
that.
activists try and make jokes. Their jokes are always so anodyne and clean. They don't push boundaries anymore.
Bro, how would we comment on cool people? Be like, just pause and be like, yeah, he's cool, dude. Or like pause and be like, wow, he's good looking. And then play it again and be like, I wish I was him. Like, that doesn't work. Anyway, I don't like the way that he is already doing what the chick from the trope video did, where like she assigns motivation for someone. Like, because he referred to Happy as like his wannabe uncle. I don't think that's true. I think he wanted to be in his aunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have made a lot more sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like he didn't want to. Like, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been his step uncle. I'm just saying that was not his motivation for being with the aunt. Nor is it his motivation to hang out with this kid. Oh, hey.
Hey, Mary.
Girl, what's up?
Howdy do.
Yep. Anyway, we can hit play.
Okay.
Zendaya. This type of identity formation can be explained via what Scottish philosopher David Hume called the bundle
Hume.
theory of the self. This basically means that our self-identities are completely made up of bundles of impressions, which are just the various experiences we have in our lives.
Pause it.
This means that before
All right. So I know Hume. I didn't get to hear what he was saying because I was trying to do something in the back. But what is he talking about? Experiences and shit?
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with
Hume?
Hume, that is, in the whole notion that we are basically a sum of our experiences, and how we interact with people, how we talk to people, and whatnot is really just mimicry. You know? like how I interact how I react to a certain situation is maybe how my mother or father reacted, because that's how I learned to react.
Yeah, except
Well,
it
I
takes out
think
all the natural genetic components because there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
no, it
and-
does, I don't think it
certain
does.
things.
I mean, I'd actually use like biology as the kind of basis, like the what do you call it, the foundation of how you react to things. Like if someone pinches you, you cry, or when you're a baby, you cry. When you get a little bit older, like teenage years, you smack people.
So
But yeah, I think
Um,
the whole notion of the mimicry can be applied very broadly, but
Hey,
also
Zach, how's it going?
almost in an entire what's the word an infinite number of combinations as well. So you may not just react one way to a situation, you may react in a combination of ways.
Well, it's because we learn. We learn.
Yeah, I'm just saying, everything we learn is all just there in our brains.
We figure out what works, we figure out what doesn't, and we go from there.
Yeah, like in one situation you'll react one way, but in another situation you'll react this way, and then maybe you'll get a situation that repeats, and you'll react differently again. But it's all just in our head,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
People
Just
from
before
our
we go on,
experience.
I think Banana Facts got timed out, so he's cool.
Who
He
timed him
says
out?
Banana Facts. He's
Um,
got 300
don't be-
seconds.
don't be-
I have
don't be
no way
surprised
to
about that,
undo it.
because I've been timed out on one of According to Christie's streams.
Yeah,
just out of
it's already
nowhere.
figured out. Yeah, it's already figured out. They're gonna fix it. Sorry about that, Banana Dave. Hey, listen, it's because I wanted to. I was gonna say this earlier. Like, I think this goes back to what we talked about a couple of speakeasies ago when we were talking about determinism versus free will,
Mhm.
liberal free will. That is. Hey, Mary.
This is a stick up.
Yeah. By the way, my hands are feeling better. Thanks for asking.
I don't.
What
give a
happened?
I burnt my hands like last Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's the oven fiasco.
Yeah. You're very low, Mary.
Do what?
You're it's probably better. You're right. Keep it low.
I'm sorry, Mary.
Sorry.
I don't have any money for you to steal.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm only here for Mad's pride, but I see I'm out of luck. So
Oh, fair
Nice.
dues, as you were.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not paying attention to anything you said,
that's
but it
not
sounded
yours.
mean.
That's
Anyway, so actually, since you're here, Mary, let's get your thoughts on determinism versus liberal free will.
See, I don't believe that there's see, this is kind of a hard thing to answer, because I do believe that while things aren't necessarily mapped out for us, that there's a place that will wind up, but that place is based on our free will choices. And so it's just that comes down to my faith. Like I believe in God, and I believe that He knows everything that's going to happen, but that's not because we're determined to wind up there. It's just it is what it is as a result of our free will actions. That's because otherwise I would have to believe that that it would be perfectly that God not imposing on our free will would be an unnecessary stance for Him to take, because there's no real free will, right?
I agree 100%. We're using determinism in the academic sense of, like, determinism basically is everything that you do is caused by something in your past, right? Like, why do you get worried every time you open the oven to take something out? Because you got your hands burnt last Saturday, right? Or
I don't think it's that black and white.
No.
I think that there is absolutely some impact, right? Like, I have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, that affects things that affects ways that I interact with the world around me, certainly.
Right.
But it certainly doesn't affect it in the same way that it did when I was younger. And I'm constantly working on it and improving and doing my best to, even if I never shake it, come to a better place with it. And so,
and that is happening because of the years that you spent dealing with it, right?
but I mean, I could just as easily not do that, right? And so,
But you did, and it probably has something to do with your personality, right? Like, there is really no proof of free will. There is plenty of proof for determinism. In fact, I was reading this paper. They were studying the brain and how like basically everything that we do, we're not doing, we are reacting.
I mean, look, well, that really
Actually-
depends on. Sorry, that really depends on whether you take a sort of solipsistic view.
It's interesting that you bring that up. So I just found out like a few days ago that there's a genetic mutation in my family called MTHFR.
Mhm.
They discovered it in my sister when she nearly freaking died a few weeks back, and they were like, "Look, you need to let your family know because in all likelihood, this is something that runs throughout your whole family." And a lot of the things, a lot of the symptoms that impact your life in negative ways are a result of this, and it's really far reaching. Like it can cause you to not have children, it can cause you love you, Wookie. It can cause you to not have children, it can cause you to have thyroid issues, it can cause you to have some serious depression issues. There are just like really far reaching implications. And this is a genetic aspect of who I am. But it turns out that there's something that I can do about it, right?
Mhm.
That there is a free will choice that I can make to address the genetic issue within my body. And it was a really cheap, all things considered, thing. Just got some L-methylfolate, 15 milligrams, take it every day. In a few months, I should hopefully see some changes.
That's very no. I've read I've read another case study thing. It was on this dude that went to prison for kid things, and he kept getting really sick or whatever, and like they did a scan, and he had a tumor in his brain, right?
Mhm.
So they popped the tumor out. Oh, you're gonna have to wait down there, Juicy. Hold on. They took the tumor out, right? And he no longer had those desires anymore, right? Everything's cool. Then he started getting those desires again. They did another scan. Guess what came back? The tumor, right? Whatever part of the brain that thing was growing on was affecting his, like his whatever would cause you to want to do that, right?
Mhm.
Which
It
is
turns out I don't like taking pills every day. I don't, because it's something to remember to do. And it's not easy. I had a hard time doing it when I was on my ADHD medication. I have a hard time doing it now, especially off my ADHD medication. And it's like, this is just a thing that I have to do, right? Like I have to do it. And so I wake up every day and I yell at myself to to take these stupid pills because I want my life to be better and I want things to change. Genetically, I don't freaking want to do it. There's no desire in me. I don't have any oomph to do it other than the hope that things will get better, the hope that things will improve, right? Because I'm actually quite listless in my personal life. Like you'll catch me just sitting there, just staring sometimes at nothing and just gone, just not here. And that's a really hard thing to overcome. Turns out that's another thing explained by this folic acid issue, my inability to process it.
yeah.
And so I think that like there's it's a little bit of both, right? Some things are determined by how you were put together, and other things are determined by your unwillingness to accept what life hands you.
But couldn't you say though that unwillingness to accept it, right? That ability to move on may come from the way you were raised or your experiences or the influences from your parents or anyone really.
Well,
And so that
I mean-
reaction would be determined by the way you were raised.
then explain this. My mom and dad smoke. They've smoked their entire adult lives. In fact, some of their teenage years. My parents are almost 70. I smoked from the time I was 14 on. I just quit last year. I quit because even though my parents still haven't quit, I quit because I, wanted to do better for myself, even though I really loved it. I will still tell you and sit here and tell you I love it. I love
Oh yeah,
smoking.
I'm with you.
It's enjoyable. Even sitting here, I've been here at my parents' house for almost 8 weeks. So for almost 2 months, I've been here. They smoke. I'm surrounded in it. I'm steeped in it. I'm like a tea bag sitting in a cup full of smoke, and it's and I want it, and I want it, and I haven't picked up a cigarette. Haven't picked it up. Just because, despite the fact that I was raised in it and around it, and I still have adamant smokers, and I even kind of hollered at my mommy, and I was like, you're gonna go, Mom, and this is gonna be why, and this is what's gonna take you out. And she's
Well,
like,
you just explained the determinism there because you understood,
Yes.
like you found out about the facts surrounding it,
And your parents.
wanted yeah.
I actually didn't quit because I care whether or not it kills me. I care that it's gonna like screw up a lot of other stuff before it kills me.
Yeah, but that's still going down the path of determinism.
Right. So we're gonna take a detour because he's been waiting in the back for a while. I didn't know he was gonna show up. I know Grant invited him, but we have a very special guest. Everybody say hello to Juicy Smollett. Juicy, how'd today go, bro? How'd court go? And he's muted, of course.
Muted.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, is he not going to talk?
I mean, I guess Chicago wasn't the only place that was disappointed by him. Oh man,
You're still muted, bro.
yeah, you're still muted though, but like I get it. Ooh, I wonder if he was guilty or not.
Maybe he was silenced
Ain't
by
looking
the
anything.
man.
Well,
Isn't he going to jail for like half a year?
is he?
Yeah.
Let me catch up. Culture Casino is in the chat somewhere. Let's
Hey,
see.
Culture.
Poe.
Oh, I forgot to say hi to Kai. Hi, Kai.
Yeah, Kai's here. Sherry. What about? Oh, someone say teabag? I don't know if we did. Probably it's us.
I did.
Teabags come
I
up a
said it.
lot.
I said teabag.
Let's see here. Casino more. Another monster. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you around in a while. You need to pick up your support for us. And Air K. Oh man, 150 days. What's 150 days?
His sentence
Oh,
Okay.
that starts today, and then he's
So
got
it's
to
like-
pay restitutions.
Like a third a year or something like that.
oh man.
Not quite. It's more like
Oh,
I don't
dude.
know, quarter.
Dude, on Twitter, I saw like somebody was like, Cal Rittenhouse, you cheered for him when he was found not guilty for murder. And then who was the other one they used? I think Zimmerman was another one that they used. But yet y'all are all over here wanting him to go to jail. Yeah, bro. There's a difference.
So the very different circumstances. It wasn't the same crime, or
Yeah, those two things are not like relatable. Like
not at all. I mean, it's hard to connect those
That's
in any
Fat
way.
Steven over there. Who is that?
no, it's not Fast Steve. I don't know who. I guess it's Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea who it is.
He got
Now I'm
fat.
getting worried. Did he?
He got fat.
And then he keeps saying that he's not going to kill himself.
Yeah, Nick brings up a very good point in the back. Your accent has gotten thick as shit.
Oh. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's delightful. I just noticed it.
Oh, that's a sweet word to use. Delightful. Okay.
Right?
No, I like the American Southern accent. I find it both funny and heartwarming.
Motherfucker, you ain't never complimented my accent.
Because you don't
Well,
talk
you know,
that
you
way.
have a bit of a blended accent. You've got the sort of Texas, Bostonian, sort of all-American sort of accent.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And don't forget New Zealand. That New Zealand's in there somewhere.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
You know what New Zealand people sound like that.
Oh, yeah. In Beatman from New Zealand.
That's not it, man. That's not
That's
not
100% it, bro. Quokkas.
No.
It really isn't.
No, we're the land of the hobbits.
Oh my god, in heaven. Just full disclosure though, I did
Duke
take
and-
like 30 milligrams of melatonin a little bit ago, so I can't stay long.
Oh, no
Like-
worries.
That terrible impression just convinced Mary to start smoking again.
What impression?
His New Zealand Batman.
Oh yeah, no, it gave me, a hankering for some crack cocaine, I think is what I
Oh, yeah, Mary, you missed it, dude. Literature Devil. I ever heard of him? I was on
No,
his
I don't
channel.
have any idea who that is.
I was on his channel Friday. We're playing D&D. Yeah, it's going good.
When are you gonna invite me, you jackhole?
To what?
To D&D.
It's not my D&D game, and there's no girls allowed.
It's a bro game.
Yes, we
Anybody ever
bro
tell
out.
you look like a little penis with a hat?
Anybody ever tell you you look like a
erections and
penis with
Forgetting
a
something, Dad.
weave?
That Mary isn't a girl. She's a lady.
I'm a lady.
What is up with you two tonight? I've never heard you compliment anyone ever. This is
Oh,
ridiculous.
you are mad. You are so full of shit. Shut up.
Man,
Hey.
if you want us to compliment you more, you only have to ask.
And another monster, by the
Well, if
way.
you want a compliment, you shouldn't have to ask.
Another monster,
Yeah,
by
but
the
Matt
way.
does me too.
You should know by now that Nick and I are immune to drop bears. The way to deal with drop bears is
I
to
can't
put
look at that
Vegemite on
anymore.
your neck. You'll be fine.
And because Sam and I eat Vegemite pretty regularly, we give off a kind of pheromone that keeps drop bears away from us.
You know, I've always wanted to try Vegemite.
Nah, I don't like
Okay,
it the way it
you know,
sounds.
Gross.
Look, I'm a bit atypical in that I actually eat Vegemite straight up on bread. I don't have it with butter, so I'm not exactly the typical example. But all I have to say is you have some butter on your bread and you have a very thin layer of Vegemite. It's very salty, but
Very
it's
thin. I'm talking
yeah, very salty, very savory, but it's an acquired taste. It's quite nice.
So you like to butter your biscuit?
No, I don't actually.
He's gonna make a jail rape joke is coming. Go ahead. You gonna ask him to
No.
hold your pocket in the yard?
No, that was your thing.
See, everybody in America says, "Oh no, you don't want to try Vegemite or anything like that." But I've heard that it's like, it's like a creamy kind of like. How did I hear it described once?
It's incredibly salty, like it's very, very savory, like really, really salty. But there's a sort of sweet. If you hang around long enough, it's actually got a sort of sweetish aftertaste. It's quite nice.
Ugh.
The butter
So
on the bread
creamy
will
and
soften it.
salty.
Would-
I
would
do
you-
not want any part of this.
See, I don't know why I have sardines stuck in my head when I think about Vegemite.
Oh no! It's not
No,
fishy.
it's not fishy. No,
Not fishy. Okay.
Same thing. I was thinking sardines.
it's not. It's not like how fish are salty, like ocean salty. It's not that kind of salty. It's more like a.
Ball salty?
No, shut up, Mad. Shut up. It's more of a like. I don't know if you've ever had like a stock cube or something like that. Like kind of a salty, savory kind of taste.
Okay, what fish are you eating that are salty? Because I
Mackerel?
don't think that is fresh.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of my fish comes out of a can.
Yeah, and that's often in either spring water or brine.
Yeah, but it's still not salty.
Anyway,
I
put
mean,
it this way:
have
it's
you
not
ever
as
had
it's not as
mackerel out of a
nasty.
can?
It's not as nasty as everyone makes it out to be.
Well,
It-
you're not
just-
helping the case
Just
for it in
be
much.
light with it. Don't go heavy with it or anything.
Yeah, well,
Just
I can't
a-
help it.
just a little
I
scrape
can't
of
help it
nitrogen.
Listen, I honestly can't help it if most Americans are little bitches with their taste buds. But
All right, Yeti, bring it up. So I'm glad that you're here though, because we started covering. I forgot what channel it is, but it's tropes. It's fridging, and it's been absurd.
tell me about it. Oh, and another monster. Oysters are disgusting. Ugh.
Why
Oh,
does she
yeah,
not
everyone
knows
know to me?
And Poe, one of us may be racist, but at least we've got taste.
What did
One
he
of us
lose his
maybe-
sense of?
Jesus Lord.
Overly Sarcastic Productions is the channel.
Overly sarcastic production.
Yeah, they're at about 838, like almost 900,000. They're getting close to it.
She look thick.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the views. They have 1.9 million subscribers, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she's fun. Yeah. All right, so basically she's explaining what fridging is, and the two examples that she's using, one was Gamora, and now it's Black Widow was fridged. Oh, dude, that's gross. Anyway, Yeti, if you can press that play. This one.
What?
Is Yeti here? Yeti.
oysters.
Okay, we good to go?
Yeah, dude.
Previous movies, which is very disappointing.
It is
Meanwhile, Black
disgusting.
Widow's death is similar to Gamora's, but is
That's-
bad for
that's a
different
taste I will
reasons. Because unlike
never-
Gamora, who had too much
Oh my god, I already hate this music. Oh,
Oh, you weren't here last night either.
no, but this isn't a good start.
Mango. Wish that was a mango.
Oh my god.
Oh man, dude, our chat's the best. We had Yeti's dad pop up Wednesday. That was a lot of fun.
Do you think Vision's death counts as fridging?
He's a male,
No,
right?
because that's a man, and they don't count that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not okay when it's a woman, but it's okay when it's a man.
Yes.
Even though that was literally the entire catalyst for WandaVision, and it
Yeah.
was the entire thing that pushed. They got an entire series out of that, and her popping up in Endgame like, "You took everything from me." Like, no.
The entire reason for her to like kidnap a town and like imprison children, you know,
None of that.
that was okay.
Well,
That was okay.
That's
So they
cool.
do make an exception, but it's only for is not only, but it's the only one they ever talk about for gay men. They say that gay men are fridge as much as the ladies, apparently.
Are we supposed to
When?
act like people dying in these things isn't going to motivate people? We're just supposed to brush it off.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
we're supposed to act like
Wait.
it's not normal
Who-
for some reason.
Who am I supposed to tell what? Your job season food.
Just saying. Hey, y'all want some sour gummy worms?
Oh yes, please.
No,
I got
all
a
right.
blue and orange one. Oh,
Yeah, actually,
I'll
I'll go
take
for some of
blue.
those because tomorrow's my cheat
I like the
day.
green. All right, let's hit play.
much character weight and potential to warrant her unceremonious death, Black Widow was completely underutilized by every other movie she's been in, with the arguable
Pause
exception
it.
of when
Oh,
What?
okay. Oh, I was about to lose my shit if she
Oh
didn't
my
mention
God. Oh, how?
that.
she's literally in the center of the frame.
All the
But
time.
let's treat her like she's not.
Like even
Alright,
in
for-
other movies where it's about other characters, she always plays a major role. Always.
Isn't she the one who figured out what Loki's plan was in the very first Avengers?
In the Avengers, yeah, she was the one that like was like, oh, "I'm so sad, I'm a girl," and then he's like, "I'm
Is
dead out."
everyone
So
else
that's your
dropping out,
plan,
or is that
whatever.
just on our end?
That's just on your end, bro.
Ah, okay,
Isn't she the one that, oh, I don't know, kept the Hulk busy?
Oh, what is this, dude?
Hi.
What's that thing? It's like they're acting like Black Widow is somehow a main character. Like, no, she's part of an ensemble cast. Deal with it.
Yep. And she does her damn job, and she does it well.
Exactly. Well said.
I actually have less of a problem. Like, I really don't have a problem with women in like the spy game, right? Because they can get into anything. You know what I mean? Not like like talking to people. They're very good at manipulating people because they've been doing it their entire lives.
You know what
But-
I bet? I would bet you anything that Black Widow would sit down and eat sour gummy worms with me.
Press play, Yeti. Listen to this.
we had this franchise for a
Why did you invite her?
decade, and we never got an arc for Widow that was deeper than she's hot or she's bony.
Oh,
What?
Jesus. Oh my God.
What?
What? Did nobody tell her about the whole, like, they ripped out her ovaries thing?
Yeah,
I guess not.
Wait, when was this one made?
bro. They're talking about Endgame.
Okay, so yeah, this is in 2021.
Okay.
So Black Widow was out by then. Wasn't it?
Depends on when
Or
it came out in
close to out.
2020.
October 8th.
Yeah.
Yep, it was out.
So,
But look, let's no. Let's say Black Widow wasn't out yet. Okay.
yeah, even
I'm
that
almost-
it refutes her point.
One of the most potent cry sessions I have ever had when watching one of these comic book movies was when Black Widow sat there talking about how she felt like a monster because she
Yeah.
couldn't have kids. And that resonated with me as a woman because I'm not completely infertile, but I keep losing babies and it's very upsetting, right? And so it makes you feel like less of a woman. And whoever wrote that understood what it can feel like on a very deep emotional level, and they reached out and they touched me through the damn screen, and it was just really, really moving. And for this hot cartoon character in the chair here to say that didn't happen, that didn't exist, that wasn't real, that didn't matter, that never got touched on, is absurd. She's not paying attention and she shouldn't be taken seriously. Although I do love her lumps. Like, look at that. That's a sexy cartoon character.
Well, real quick. So, by the way, it was written by a man because this is the year of man. Like the highest grossing like winner on Jeopardy, female winner on Jeopardy was a man. We are about to. I mean, men are about to tear up the swim meet. Is that what they call it? The NCAA?
They already have.
Yeah, man. Like, we just do things better than you. So,
but okay, so even beyond that, she has played a pivotal role in like every single movie that she's been in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
She had to get intel. She had to, turn someone to come from the other side. Like she's played a vital role, and she wasn't there, the situation would have turned out drastically different.
Yeah, like when she picked up the shield.
Definitely not giving her enough credit. That's all I'm saying.
Well, she said it comes down to either she's like, oh, she's hot, or she's boning the Hulk. Man, first play, dude. Let's go.
Well, she's a femme fatale, so she uses her attractiveness to help her achieve her goals. Like that's the whole point of the character.
Yeah, but that's the voting nowadays. You can't do
Well,
that.
that's why they've recruited girls in the first place.
Yeah. So they were able to.
What? It's true. I'm not being
fucking mad. Jesus, man.
What did I say now? What did I think? No,
that's what they did.
It's
in the
true
Red
though.
Room. Like that was their whole thing.
Because you have to think about it. Women are very. Again, this is broad stroke, right? Like they're very good at getting their way with things, right? They can work a room.
You can just say manipulate.
And men are horny.
It's okay.
Yeah, they've been doing it their whole lives. So what would stop them then? All they do is manipulate. Anyway,
Who hurt you, Matt? Who hurt you?
I've been hurt by so many people.
I feel like we're gonna get into something deep
I
here.
think
No,
Matt
no.
needs a hug. Matt needs a hug.
Nah, I'm all right. Let's press play. Let's make
Goes
fun of
all
her.
back to his childhood and determinism.
This made her narratively disposable, but you can tell that the writers realized she was too disposable for it to be impactful, because for the first half of Endgame, they speedrun.
What? First of all,
I know,
she's
roots
doing
are
it again, by the way.
ridiculous, man. I'm with you, Mad. Those roots are unacceptable.
I love them.
Okay.
I'll say, like, dude, she's doing that thing again where she assigns like a motivation or whatever for people she does not know. She cannot say that the writers realized that she was too. What did she say?
Disposable?
Yeah, she was too disposable. Why are there so many women here tonight? My God, look at this.
Realized she was too
disposable.
Yeah, like that's.
How is she too disposable? People
see
would have been
Poe.
pretty upset, Like if she didn't go out like a badass. And they
could've just
wanted
as easily
to have a
kicked
movie
Hawkeye
from
out.
her after Civil War. But they
Yeah.
waited too long for it to actually be meaningful.
Press play. Let's see what's happening.
Okay.
disposable for it to be impactful, because for the first half of Endgame, they speedrun the whole characterization process by suddenly giving her some character focus, a dynamic with the other heroes, and it alleged
A dynamic with the other heroes, bro. Her back
She
in.
hasn't had that to start with.
Budapest is not like one of the biggest memed things ever. You and I
Just-
remember Budapest very differently.
her interactions with Captain America throughout Civil War, like they seriously had a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
like a working, you know what I mean?
Well, no, but like remember they like she pulls up in the car. Get in, old man.
Yeah.
You know, like or a fossil. I think she calls him a fossil. She's just great with him.
Yeah.
They're great together.
She was great with
already has
Tom. She was great with Iron Man as well, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I am so embarrassed that they almost have 2 million subscribers and I can barely crack 1.3 K.
I will tell you why. You ready?
There's no justice.
She's mastered the art of sounding pompous.
Oh yeah, she definitely leans in on the like she uses word hippo very well. I can tell that. She's like, I need another word for this.
So if I go to sound pompous, I'm going to gain so many subs.
English movement.
Wait, what's word hippo?
Oh, word hippo. Basically, you just put it. No, basically, yeah, but it's a little bit more than that. It gives you so many examples, and it also will use them in a sentence for you, related words, and it gets. I mean, there's a ton of options on word hippo. I wish they had an app.
If you're looking for like, why don't you just type in synonym? You know what I mean? Why do you need like a full-fledged app for that?
Well, I mean, it's not an app. I wish they had an app, dude. Go ahead. You know what? Because my girlfriend, she laughed at me too when I suggested her using word hippo. Go check it out, man. I'm telling you, it's more than what you think.
Yeah. See, I don't feel like I need it. I've got a pretty great vocabulary, so you know.
Okay, that's fine. Press play.
I think she's concussion shaming you.
Yeah, she's yeah. She always does that. She's like, "Oh, your little brain hurt."
Alleged personal arc about treasuring the Avengers as a found family all
See you,
along.
Kai.
It was an attempt to make up for lost time so we'd be sold on her heroic sacrifice, but it was
Oh my
clearly
God.
token. The fact that the movie completely
How?
What? Pickle what? Pickle what?
Hey, chick, do you know why they stopped acknowledging her death 5 minutes after it happened? Because fucking Thanos was there.
And then the movie ended.
And then the movie ended.
Oh man. That is
Did they have like a big old funeral for everyone?
Is this
As I
person
said-
completely oblivious to the entire, maybe not the entire Marvel fan base, but a massive chunk of the Marvel fan base calling for a Black Widow movie for literally like 6-7 years?
I would like to hear her explanation for that.
She doesn't
Like-
have one.
Like, did that just like how tuned out of everything do you have to be, and then decide to talk about it? Jesus, you're wading into these waters, and you aren't even cognizant of the fact that you have this massive chunk of a massive fan base that has been calling for a Black Widow movie for like half of the MCU's runtime.
Yeah.
And you just want to act like that's not a thing. Like that, like we didn't call for that because we had nothing else to do, because we weren't busy. We called for that because we loved her so much, and we wanted
It
to
was
see
from
more from her.
basically phase 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
right
like, as soon
after
as phase 1 went by, we were all like, okay,
right after Winter
Black-
Soldier. We all wanted a Black Widow movie.
yeah, like where's Black Widow? You know?
Yep.
But no, they waited until now.
Well, that would go against the narrative, so she won't acknowledge that.
But what this goes against her own narrative, right? Like, so if she's saying that the reason this is bad is because no one in the audience is connected to the ladies in the fridge, right? Because we didn't know them well enough. How does she align that with so much of the fan base wanting a movie specifically about her? Well, I guess what? Like, no, we want to learn more about her because we haven't learned anything about her, I guess would be the only thing.
Yeah, and if she does use it, she's going to use kind of the Black Widow failure as a reason.
She's not gonna use it.
Yeah, well,
thing is,
but rather than it being because they waited, 8 years too long, and after her death, when it doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't mean anything.
yeah, no, I
Not
totally
nothing,
agree
but
with you there.
you know what I hated most about the Black Widow movie was that look, and there was a lot that I didn't like about it, but it was that they used her moment to shine as an opportunity to just disrespect the shit out of the character. And I liked the Florence. I liked her.
I liked her a
Pugh
lot.
character.
Yeah.
I liked their dynamic, but at every opportunity possible, she was making fun of her for how she did things, as if it hadn't endeared us to her in the first place. That now it's in vogue and chic to make fun of Black Widow being sexy, right? So let's do that now. Let's just completely dismiss what made everyone sit there and look at this character and be like, dang man, she's like a freaking firecracker, she's a spitfire, right? Like, let's just throw that out the window, like that, like we didn't love that 5 fucking years ago.
And then the way that they just kind of destroyed men and father figures in that, like they emasculated the father repeatedly. Every single time he had this moment of realization that he screwed up, he goes to rectify it, and he becomes a butt of the joke that is a bumbling failure by the end. You know, he has this touching moment, and then it's like, oh, you don't have an earpiece. Like, that happens like twice over.
Bathos. I hate it.
Well, look, I got to scoot. But y'all have a. I just caught myself. You guys have a good night.
You have a great night too.
Hey, I can send this link to for you if you want to watch the video.
Yeah, dude, check it my way. I'll take a look at it later.
All right.
But yeah, you guys have a great night and enjoy the rest of your trope talk.
Yeah, we about to bro this out.
Yeah, go ahead, start touching the tips, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
We're all circumcised. We can't.
Yes,
dock.
we can't dock.
God.
Jeez.
What a weirdo.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Completely stopped acknowledging her death 5 minutes after they got back is really just kind of indicative of how little she actually mattered. Tony's
called a runtime,
got every hero in the
Yeah, the runtime.
Oh God.
MCU paying their respects, a protracted funeral scene, and an entire movie about how hard it is for the MCU to move on without him. Tasha got a bench in a lake and a solo movie a year and a half after
because
she died.
Iron Man was the first character to start off the MCU, pretty much. He was kind of the one who started it all. So, you know,
it became like absolute beloved character. You know, people didn't know about him at the start. You know, Iron Man was kind of a D-list superhero until Robert Downey Jr. played him, and it was such a fantastic movie. He became a staple of the MCU. Okay, you guys still there?
Yeah. Keep going.
If we were supposed to believe she really mattered, the story should have acted like it. And it should have acted like it for longer than just like the hour-long wind-up to her dying to advance the plot.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Mad.
Sorry. I had to step away for a second. Yeah. I thought I heard a smoke alarm. I was like, shit, was that mine? So I had to go ask the girlfriend if it was ours. I guess it wasn't. So y'all may want to check y'all's. Anyway, oh yeah, Mary, check your smoke thing. So what I wanted to, so when I left, he said that Spider-Man like had a whole movie like talking about how like the world is dealing with Tony's death or whatever, and not Black Widow, right?
Yeah, that's basically.
Thank you. So the reason why is because the world knew who Tony was.
She was a freaking spy.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to be.
Natasha was a public figure. You know, the second
Natasha
he
is a
himself
spy.
as
She's supposed to be
Iron Man.
unknowable.
Yeah, exactly. She's meant to be unknowable. She's meant to be a spy. She lives in the shadows, so to speak.
This isn't Archer, for God's sake, where she goes around telling everyone who she is. You know, I mean, how on earth is she supposed to do her job by telling everyone who she is? Therefore, everyone can recognize her. You know, I mean, it's not that she isn't unrecognizable with her bright red hair. So she does have to kind of keep it, you know, secret a bit, you know.
And then Iron Man was openly Tony Stark. Like, he was very open who he was. Where other characters weren't. It's almost like there was a movie going over this.
Bye, Courtney. Hi, Tina just got here too. Hey, Tina. Oh,
Hey Tina.
nice.
Hey Toxic Man Flu.
2, 3 of us. That's fine, man. And yeah, we can go on.
For stupid, contrived reasons. Was she just getting too expensive? Is that what the problem was? I mean,
probably that was one of the reasons, as they were all getting too expensive.
Yeah, dude. That's why they're replacing them with younger people.
I mean, that's kind of the reason why. Say what you will of the X-Men films, but that's kind of the reason why they keep replacing, people like Halle Berry and who else did they replace? Famke Janssen and all the older X-Men actors. They're getting too expensive,
Except
so they hire
for
the younger ones.
Well,
except for Hugh Jackman.
That might be a bad example, just because of the X-Men movies were kind of terrible. Like, especially the third, so people just didn't want that.
It's like the thing, they don't hire people because these days anyway, they don't hire people because they're talented. They hire people because they're cheap. It's like when you look at all the stuff going on with Amazon. They're not casting people because they're talented. They're not casting people because they're good at their jobs. They're casting them because they're cheap. I mean, how many of you actually know anyone that is currently starring in, say, The Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings or so on?
Oh, I can name one person. Real quick.
Hey, Culture, how's it going?
Real quick, Yeti. Culture is here. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a great privilege to hang out with Nick. I haven't hung out with Nick in a long time. It's good to see you.
They're also, before I forget, I just want to say this. They're also casting people based on their social media presence. And if they don't have a large enough engagement, they won't cast them. But if there's someone who's never acted but has like 1 million followers, they will hire them.
I mean,
name one person.
What's her name, for example? I mean, I've forgotten her last name, but
Aquafina.
She plays Egwene in The Wheel of Time, right? Madeline, what's her name, right? She's an Australian actress, right? And nobody's heard of her outside of maybe Tomorrow When the War Began. Then she gets cast, and suddenly, boom. It's all because of social media presence and being able to quote unquote influence. It's just total. It's ridiculous. They're not hiring because of talent. They're hiring because they're cheap.
Exactly. Like back in the day, you had to jump through hoops. Did you know that Jean-Claude Van Damme, the reason he got into the movies was because of whatever producer it was that did Bloodsport with him. He saw him outside of a restaurant, did a high kick to his face, and just stopped it like a few inches from his face. And the guy goes, "You're in the movies, kid." That's a true story.
I also wanted to say hi to Sam. I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody, but hi, Sam.
Hey,
it's
Culture.
been a long time.
How's it going?
It's good to see you. And of
Good to
course,
see you
Yeti, I have to tell you, I've been missing you a lot. I don't know where you've been.
I've been missing you.
You've been hiding. I don't know why.
Been waiting for videos.
Dude, I'm gonna send you videos tomorrow. You're gonna be working, and then of course, Matt. You know what? Sometimes you're pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. I was watching The Dump from last night because I was already out of things that I was on because I don't watch things I'm not on.
You were on The Dump last night?
And dude, the part I was watching with a girlfriend. When you had that spit take and it burnt your nose.
Oh god.
Oh, that was so funny, dude. I'm clipping it.
It hurt so bad. I know you think that's funny, but it was like
It's
dying
hilarious.
on the screen. I'm like, oh, dude.
Oh man. All right, Culture. You should be used to this. We're talking about fridging. It makes the conversation fun.
You mean like put
come
a
on,
chick in a
guys.
fridge?
And it's kind of
Hey, George.
Yes.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, George. Dude, I love George. George is amazing.
You were supposed to invite him, bro. We were like, hey, make sure that you get George the invite so he can join us.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, we need big YouTubers to prop us up.
Wow, I tell you what, we can switch places. You guys can send an invite to George. What do you think? Do you think I am like the gateway drug for George? Is that what you're saying?
What? No, like it.
Well, we weren't saying it out loud. We were implying.
I have no communication telling me to give George the invite. So
you have the invite, dude.
You didn't say to grab. You did. I have no communication. Why are you making me look like the asshole?
Oh my gosh. Hold on, George. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know he was incapable of following through. Here, I'll send you the invite. My goodness. This is so sad. You guys can talk while I do this, please. Or just sit there in
Okay, well,
silence.
On behalf of the Mad
This
Barber
chick's full of
Boys, I'd
shit.
like to
There you go.
apologize for this unprofessional behavior.
Which part?
You know the parts.
Like
Don't try and play innocent now.
From the beginning of the show on? It's been an hour of unprofessionalism, is what you're trying to say?
No, it has not. We've been very professional.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want to get banned off Mad streams again.
I'll ban you off of YouTube.
I don't think you can do that.
I've done it before.
Okay.
Well, you never know what Mama Susan wants. And I think Mad's in Mama Susan's ear, so
We had Scott on the other stream I was on tonight. He had just gotten finished with chest feeding.
Oh, that's nice. I don't know what that means. Dude, are we gonna street smart or are we gonna watch? Oh, we're gonna watch this.
I'm ready to watch.
Wait, is this a chick?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that song. I'm with you on that.
I won't play the song. I won't play the song.
Telling that the MCU has rolled back
Thank
or
you, Eric.
undercut
Thank you.
all 4 of those deaths in one way or another. Loki and Gamora have time-displaced versions with 0 character development running around to replace their more interesting dead versions. Vision got an actual proper send-off in WandaVision. And
okay, hold up for a second.
wait.
You want to talk about undercutting? You want to talk about undercutting previously established female characters? Why not add Captain Marvel to that bloody list? She undercut Black Widow something awful.
I'm sorry. Is this who's this person we're listening to?
Oh, what was this? Very sarcastic production, something
Overly
like that.
sarcastic productions.
Yeah.
Overly sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
They almost have 2 million subscribers, which makes me embarrassed because this is just trash.
There is no justice in the world, you know that.
Absolutely none.
And I gotta start selling out. Press play.
But here's the
they
thing.
have to actually agree.
Nope. Press pause.
So she's trying to talk about fridging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, bro.
Is she gonna make a point about fridging anytime soon?
Dude, you've watched 5 seconds of it. It's a little early to use that joke.
No, it really isn't.
And yeah, she's trying to relate it to Black Widow and has been, failing miserably and basically ignoring all context from previous movies.
I love Wookiees so much, dude.
All
right,
his own not quite the same copy running around now for future appearances. And of course, Black Widow is finally getting that solo movie we were promised, which is a damn hard sell at this point now.
Yeah, we were asking for that 8 years ago. It's not.
I mean,
the
I
fans'
wasn't.
fault
She's
on
still a
this
woman.
one. Okay, fans of
Her.
Black Widow have been wanting that for a very long time.
There you go. Yeah. That feels better.
That she's already dead and thus, frankly,
I was just gonna say I've been wanting her for a very long time.
Gross. We don't do that here, and you know that.
Oh,
No,
I
I
pressed
mean-
pause for that.
I mean the
Oh.
solo film.
Press play.
What's your verdict on that one, Matt?
Press play.
irrelevant. If the deaths had been properly impactful and narratively worth the cost, none of this rollback would have been necessary. Now, in fairness,
All right. In fairness, some characters really are plot devices in the stories and arcs of more important people. Yeah,
That's
true.
how
Again,
stories
the
work.
only response to that is no shit, Sherlock. Really?
Wait, hold on. Wait, dude. Is she about to go against everything she spent the first 5 minutes talking about? Remember, right? Like each character should have their own stuff. Like even if they get killed, like every character deserves like more respect than to be killed off screen.
Every character deserves to be a main character. You know how
Yes.
it goes.
Can I ask? Like Grant was here a little while ago, and so was
Wait.
Mary. What happened?
Silencing me? What? Who? Wait, somebody silenced you?
Who's silencing whom?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Um,
Yeah, exactly, right? What is it, Culture?
I was saying, wasn't Mary here?
Yeah, but you came on.
I didn't want to kick Mary off.
No, trust me, we're all glad that you came on instead of her. Ugh.
Wasn't Grant here too? I mean, we had like 3.
Grant's at work.
Grant's
at work.
Oh, I was really excited. I was going to get to hang out with 3 Australians.
Well, he's Matt is Australia adjacent with
New Zealand.
So
yeah.
Well, okay.
And apparently, if we're just going to accept the existence of Australia, I guess we'll have to accept the existence of New Zealand, which I still find highly unlikely.
Well, I mean, we've been accepting for the last 2 years, we accepted Canada is existing. So,
no.
Yes, and I would argue that.
I mean, it's just right up there.
I would argue that Canada is a bigger leap of faith than
Australia. Whoa!
At this current
we weren't
point.
the ones that caused these gas prices to skyrocket.
Yeah, it was you damn Australians.
How'd you figure that out?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the news.
Half of Australia has been basically underwater for the past couple of weeks.
hey, you guys! I've noticed that you have some water that's like running through your streets lately.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that, but it's since dried up and it's all good. It's headed down south.
Man, Culture, did you use up all your funny on comic stream?
Yes.
Come on, that was good. Let's go.
He handsome with good hair.
The fact of the matter is that
keep going. Sorry.
Characters are not real.
Hilarious.
Characters are parts of a story and they exist to further a narrative. And some of them really are.
Okay.
Yes, they really are.
Other characters' lives, and that's not a morally bad thing. But the story probably shouldn't make you think that. Sure, we, the audience, may be able to get.
What? Why? Wait. What? Oh, hold on. How? Oh, what?
If every single character was fully fleshed out, every book would be as long as War and Peace.
No, it would be so much longer depending on how many characters you have.
But who's the he?
But he doesn't know that.
That was Batman before
that's gonna be like the protagonist, I guess, because those are both chicks. Like, because this always happens when men are the protagonists in these.
That looks
stories.
like 3 chicks.
Yeah, but it's saying he, so we can say that it's not.
All right,
perfectly.
Guess that the hero's small, peaceful town and stern but fair father figure just exists to get torched by the Dark Lord in episode 1 to set up the inciting incident and set them on the hero's journey. But the hero doesn't know that, and that's what's supposed to be important about this. To the hero, that's their whole world.
That was
torching
episode
that
4,
town.
you dumb bitch.
Wait. No, wait. He's not talking. Oh, wait. Did he go back to Star Wars?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Rewind once he started this whole thing.
There's this little thing called runtime, and unfortunately, we can't navel gaze for the whole movie,
right?
Or else we'll be stuck there for 5 hours, and nobody really wants to be stuck there for 5 hours.
Unless, you'd never get out of the belly button.
Yeah, unless of course it's a Lord of the Rings extended edition, in which case I'll make an exception. But no, not most films. No.
The problem.
You're not choking on lint, is your point, though, Sam.
The problem, though, is that everything he's saying now about, yes, some characters are just plot device. It goes against everything he said for the first 5 minutes of this fucking video.
If you want to get anal, I mean, isn't every character in a movie or a book a plot device of some form or another?
We're just gonna let that go.
Yeah, I think Sam or Nick was ever one. No one heard you as soon as you said, "Well, if you want to get anal."
Do I need to repeat myself?
No.
I mean, if you want to, hey, when you do, you take a second pass at that.
Okay, I'm just gonna check with the only one person I trust on this panel. Nick, did I happen to break up?
No. But when you use the word anal, you need to use the word anally retentive.
Oh, you guys are such freaking assholes. You know that.
Wait,
why are you obsessed with?
Don't pretend you don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, what's happening in the chat? Who's abusing mod power? What's happening?
Assholes.
I haven't seen anyone using mods right now.
I don't know.
I think that I'm interested in finishing the anal thing we're going through. The anal passage that's happening.
White Claw. Ugh. Let's try that one time,
Not
bro.
morally bad.
White Claw. That is White Claw a beer? I thought it was. What the fuck is that called?
It's more like a purple passion or like a Zima, maybe. Maybe a Zima.
Darth Serpio. Yes, I did talk about juicy too much. It's true. Okay, can we get back to this? Because
let's do it.
Bad thing. But the story probably shouldn't make you think that. Sure, we, the audience, may be able to guess that the hero's small, peaceful town and stern but fair father figure just exists to get torched by the Dark Lord in episode 1 to set up the inciting incident and set them on the hero's journey. But the hero doesn't know that, and that's what's supposed to be.
Oh,
okay. She's making
it's
it
just
more
generic. Yes, a generic.
Yeah. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think they're also talking about Luke's house instead of village.
But no, she was just doing something very generic. You're like the first episode of any series.
Typical female.
Just a rough example.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused. Like,
about
is she
this. To the
actually
hero,
trying
that's-
to make an argument that, the fridging trope is bad? Or is she just trying to make an argument that the fridging trope is overused? I'm a little bit confused about what her point
it's
is.
bad. It's bad.
Okay, well, so far I'm in favor of fridging. So,
oh, I've always been. Listen, because remember, she thinks of it as disrespectful to allow your character to die off screen, even though you wrote it, even though they're not real.
Wow, you better tell that to a whole lot of Game of Thrones characters. Okay, let's go.
Their whole world. Torching that town and icing that father figure off screen just tells the audience that the hero might theoretically care, but we don't have to, and the story won't really convince you that the hero does care. It disconnects us from...
What?
Look, that's a bit of a leap. That's a bit of an assumption there. I mean, come on, man.
Well, and if they don't care, they are a psychopath.
Well, I've reached the point of the story where I realize that it is way too late for me to be awake as an adult. So I'm glad I joined for exactly 45 seconds of this video clip. Thanks. And you guys are awesome.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday, man. We got another Yeti Appreciation Day.
Really?
Dude, this one's great. I found another. It's footage from him when he was harassing a group of teens that crashed in the Himalayas, and they were about to eat the dead. And then he goes over there like, I'm Yeti, eh?
As long as we're not talking about both of his assholes again. Anyway, I gotta go.
Can't promise anything.
See you later.
See you, brother. Everybody's saying bye.
From someone we're supposed to be relating to. And it undercuts the emotional impact of the death when the emotional impact of the death is the only thing this trope has. Now, if the father figure had been with us for, say, 2 seasons or the first act or 2 of a movie, serving as a mentor figure, for instance, we would expect him to die with some fanfare, and we'd be weirded out and upset if he didn't. A heroic sacrifice.
Sorry, I missed it. What happened?
Ironically enough, there is already, if we're talking about the hero's journey and stuff,
yeah,
the one who gets fridged and the mentor figure are 2 different characters, but there's nothing in the rule book that says they can't be the same character if you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're forgetting there's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, right? If we're going Star Wars here, and then of course we know that Obi-Wan effectively dies at the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3, something like that. To get Luke Skywalker off his arse and being the rebel that he is.
Yeah, I agree. Like, hold on. Can you back up just a little?
And the same thing goes with, say, I don't know, Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, right? He ends up falling into the pit in Moria, roughly around Act 3 of the first Lord of the Rings movie. It's like, yeah, the mental figure dies. They're supposed to die. That's the point.
It's a catalyst.
Yeah, exactly.
See you, Poe.
Say 2 seasons or the first act or 2 of a
Whoa,
movie,
what's happening over here?
Mentor figure, for instance, we would
What?
Oh, nothing. I think we have a love connection in the chat.
So cute.
Keep going.
Expect him to die with some fanfare, and we'd be weirded out and upset if he didn't. A heroic sacrifice, a dying monologue, an admission that the hero...
Why is there always fire behind all these pictures?
Well, because it's a fireplace, bro.
Oh.
Made him a better man and so very proud. Several
I
references to
mean,
him after
she's
he
drawn
dies. So we remember
she's
how
drawn
he-
the fire in Maroon Ink. I mean, in Maroon Ink, are we supposed to, from that, surmise that the guy on the right is a Ranger?
What?
What? Can you?
What?
Can you do that again, but in American?
Okay.
North American.
She's drawn the fire in Maroon Pen, right? Right?
Yes.
Am I supposed to conclude that the guy on the right is a redhead?
No.
Goodness,
Hold
me,
on.
you guys are unbelievable.
No, sorry, I'm getting distracted here, dude. Is there something happening in the chat that I don't know about?
I don't know. I literally do not see anything popping up for.
I don't know.
People
I have no
getting
clue.
blocked, but here.
All right. Press play.
affected the hero's journey. If we didn't get that kind of thing, we'd feel cheated. But just because we, the audience, haven't seen the chapter 1 dead dad for very long, the author feels comfortable just torching the place off screen after a single expository line of dialogue and then expects us to feel for the hero when the story hasn't made this death feel meaningful.
Look,
In this structure, the amount
not
of weight-
anyone who does their writing well. If someone does their writing well, the emotional impact will be felt. It's only the shit stuff that doesn't do it well.
Oh yeah, and you don't even have to have a character on screen that long. Just look at the beginning of Up.
Oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
That
Absolutely.
gets
No, that's
everyone
right.
to cry.
As I said, you look at some TV shows these days, and if I make a brief comparison, but you look at some TV shows today, these days, and you have 8 to 10 episodes, and the character undergoes absolutely no growth. But you look at a movie like, say, Up, and there's more growth in 5 frigging minutes than some series have in their entire season. It's ridiculous.
There's a couple movies.
Oh,
okay,
wait, hold
I'm
on, real
blanking
quick.
on them right now.
This is a great fucking movie, right? The first 10 minutes of Up tells an entire, like, just a complete story
Yeah, exactly.
of this relationship with no words.
Yeah.
Just viscerals, right?
You don't even need words.
Yeah.
You don't need
And
them.
bro, everyone is bawling by the time that house. You know what I mean?
You just repeating everything I just said.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was not listening to you, bro.
Oh my
Did y'all
god!
did
I
y'all get talk
literally
about Up?
just said all of that.
What about Up?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you sure?
All of it.
Yes, all of it. And then we made a
I guess I'll listen to him when I
current
watch the
series.
replay.
But yeah, like that is the perfect example that you don't have to have that much screen time to make an impact. You have to be a good
really
writer
don't.
to set up the scene and characters in order to just have that meaningful impact when they pass away within 5 minutes.
Well, so this is interesting that he has this written up here, not how much screen time they got or how much the writer cared, right? So glad to be here. But that, okay, well, I don't know. He's confusing the shit out of me right now because I don't know, because he's giving away the defense. I mean, the, like, you know what I mean? How to attack her point about Fridge.
She seems to think that more screen time will fix the issue. It really won't. Not if you use Up as an example.
Yeah, thank you,
Like
Banana.
you can have an entire season of 8 episodes and absolutely zero character development, or you can have 10 minutes chock full of characterization. See Up. It's like screen time doesn't matter. It is not the determining factor.
Oh, hey, here's another more recent example, and I want to bring it up again because it's such a good show, but the show From actually does that really well. There's a couple characters. I won't say who, but you need to go see that because it is one of the best shows in recent.
I'm starting to have my
memory.
doubts about that show.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Even my girlfriend's like, "Wow, this is a lot of diversity."
Yeah, okay, but it's not shoved in your face like
It
in
really
wokeness
it's
ways.
starting to feel like it.
I don't know, man. I haven't heard them say anything. You know, they just had characters.
Well, that's because you're
Hang on,
blinded.
What streaming services from done
Plex
through?
or some shit.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say if it's through Amazon or anything like that, or BBC or whatever, if it's through any of those, they've actually got strict diversity quotas.
Yeah.
Like Netflix and that, they've actually got diversity quotas that they've got to meet.
Everybody does. Like you can't even now the Oscars, that thing is in full effect or whatever. So
the BAFTAs have done the same thing. The ones in the UK, they've done the same thing.
But
you can't even get nominated for particular awards unless you've met certain diversity.
Give this a chance because it doesn't go. I have not seen it go down any of the wokeness ways of those type of characters.
Not yet, bro. But they are starting to turn it up.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I hope it doesn't because the writing's been fantastic so far.
Anyway, let's get back to this because I want to know what she's trying to do here with this.
The character death is given is not proportionate to how important the character is. It's proportional to how much screen time the character was given, which has nothing to do with how the characters should be reacting to this loss. Fridging is a very disliked trope for several reasons. For one thing, you'll be hard-pressed to find a heroic death trope that people...
Wasn't the person that came up with it, they meant it as a humorous take?
No.
It was indeed made up by Gail Simone. And I've actually have it on good authority that she is actually the queen of trolls on Twitter. So.
Sorry, what was the Bechdel test that wasn't supposed to be taken seriously?
Yeah,
that's just taken seriously. Yeah,
that was a joke. Okay.
Yeah, that was a joke. That came from a comic strip.
Hey, Carl, man, I'm so glad to see that you're alive. I'm not sure how, but I really appreciate you just being a friend to that kid and nothing more. We can go on.
Like. Heroic sacrifices are basically the only one that's even halfway appreciated, since for the most part, killing a character is gonna feel bad. But more importantly, fridging lacks the counterbalancing qualities that can make a character death feel satisfying or earned. A hero might die gallantly defending their loved ones, which is heartwarmingly heroic with an element of...
Okay, but it's supposed to be a surprise because it's a shock moment for the character and the reader at the same time.
See Ned Stark, for example.
Yeah, you're finding it out together. That's why it's used. Like you're not supposed to know it's there. Like there might be hints and allusions, but they're doing it off screen to have more impact.
True. Nothing. I'm not implying anything. God, press play.
What?
Free
will and choice, or fully at peace with their fate, making their death a natural conclusion to their arc, or with some other caveat that makes the audience believe that their death works to end their personal arc. And if their death is tragic and unfair, it'll often be tortuously prolonged to really drive home to the audience that, yeah, sorry, it's not a fluke or a fake out. The character isn't making it through this.
Right.
For a classic Full Metal Alchemist example, spoiler alert, Maze Hughes, professional funny man and sweetheart, is unexpectedly killed fairly early in the series because he figured out the overarching plot way too early, so the villains needed him out of the way.
Pause it.
Serves as a
Pause it. I love, I don't, but she does this thing where she mixes like this meta, like meta comment inside of her discussion here, because like he didn't discover the overall plot. She's saying that because like, oh, he was too, you know what I mean? We all get why she's doing it, right? But she keeps intertwining like these assumptions of what the writers were feeling, and I mean, just.
You mean like how she said, the character figures out the plot way too early?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, I see what you mean.
Yeah, press play.
Major motivation for most of the heroes, most notably Roy Mustang. But it's not just a token heroic motivator to get the protagonists in gear. It feels awful. It's tragic, it's unfair, he fights very hard to stop it from happening, his wife and daughter are devastated, and the
Wait, so what's the difference then? Like, if he died early on, you know what? I guarantee that's why she's using whatever the fuck show this is, because nobody's seen it.
And also, I don't know if she's noticed, but life and death aren't fair. They're not supposed to be fair.
Oh yeah, we went over that because we brought up Old Country for No Country for Old Men.
old country for. Wait.
No.
Well, now
no
you
country.
confused me.
No, I said it correctly. No country for old men.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm crashing really hard. I can't.
All right, man.
I can't.
That does not help me. It's a full
I
metal.
know.
No, not
I
you.
know. Oh, I don't know who you're talking to.
Just assume it's not going to be you. What time are you at on that one?
Okay.
Basically
12:06.
12:06. I was close.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll see you, brother. See you on. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good, man. Have a
right.
good night, everyone.
Yep. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye, Yeti. And you can subscribe to him. Is he gone yet? You can just subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah, you can find him on. Damn it! You can find. Okay. Oh, good times. All right, let me bring this back up. Then you two are gonna have to step up your game. No, that's a great. We're off to a great start.
Well, we need the
Yeah,
video
we're
to
just waiting
react
for something
to.
to happen.
Daughter are devastated, and the ramifications are
Wait.
felt all the
Man, you know, half the time I don't even know what my point is until I'm halfway through a paragraph. Like, you gotta just keep talking. Eventually, something was gonna make sense.
Well, that's called discovery. You discover where you want to go.
Yeah, bro.
the way up to the finale. This death would not work the same if it happened off screen, and it could not.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, one, you don't know that. Like,
Replaced by a binder of Pokemon.
what does it really come down to that it happened on screen now? That's
So that's the metric she's
The thing
using
is,
to measure.
it all really depends on how something is written. Like, you may not necessarily have to feel anything for the person who died, but if you've characterized your main character right, and even the characters around him, you can empathize with them and their loss. You know?
It's called
So-
empathy, people.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that. Like, depending on the quality and how you've actually characterized someone, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't think you're meant to empathize quite so much with the dead person as you are with the main character.
Yeah, after all, they are just a plot-wise, they're a means to an end. They're a way of moving the story forward. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately, such is life. That sometimes happens.
And like I said in I think last night's Speakeasy, sometimes the death, especially fridging, is just an event. You know?
Oh, you hit-
It doesn't
oh,
have to be this
sorry.
huge thing. It's just an event.
see you later, Toxic. Thanks for dropping by, brother.
See ya, Toxic.
See ya.
Alrighty. No one else is allowed to leave for the next 30 minutes. Writing down names. Oh, I was waiting on one of you assholes to press pause. That's me. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to highlight the chat as much because I'm over messing with
the
this.
story, so it's not fridging. Fridged characters do not get this kind of treatment, and frankly, they're lucky if they get personal arcs at all.
But Gamora and Black Widow both had personal arcs.
Yeah,
exactly.
movies worth. I mean, I don't think they'd even should be counted as fridging.
No, they shouldn't.
I mean, like
No,
I
they're
said
not.
in the previous, last night, I said Peter Quill's mother was fridging.
Yes.
She died literally right at the beginning of the film, and that caused him to run out the hospital and get abducted by Yondu and whatnot in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was
100%
fridging.
right.
What happens to Black Widow and Gamora, that's not fridging. These women,
That's the character
both
arc.
characters, yeah, they have had their character arc. They've had their moments in the sun, so to speak. And now, essentially, it's the end of the road. They've gone as far as they can, so they can be used like this.
I cannot agree with you more. Like,
Yeah, like
'cause-
what more are you going to do with them? Their story
Yeah,
is
exactly.
basically
They're just going to be
done.
hanging around like a bad smell. I mean, that's the reason why I think Vision in WandaVision flew off at the end. You know, I still don't even know why he flew off.
well, listen, although we've come to the end of the road, you know, sometimes you just can't let go. It's unnatural because, you know, they belong to you. You know, like
I suppose that's why TV
you
series
you belong to them.
go on and on and on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
beyond they should, beyond what they should.
Girl, girl, I know you really love me. You just don't realize you've never been there before. It's only your first time. I know about that other fella. Sorry.
They die only to make another more important character feel sad or mad. It's not a heroic sacrifice. They have no agency in it. They're not at peace.
Bro, y'all don't know End of the Road by Boyz II Men?
No, I'm sorry. No, it just flew right over my head, that one.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Sam and I are basic bitches.
Look. I know who Boyz II Men are, but I'm not
Boyz II
familiar
Men.
with the song.
Yeah,
End of the Road?
Sam and I are complete basic bitches with regard to this stuff.
What, to music?
Music, TV,
Movies,
games.
Well, you're at the right place because this community, the thing they like least is movies,
Look, Matt,
TV.
if you want a clearer picture, can you imagine a couple of kids who basically spent their life with their head in books up until a certain point? So that should give you a clearer idea.
Oh, man, see, this is why I look. Parents should stop with this whole "I want my kid to read" thing because look what happens.
They become
outsiders.
They become uncultured swine.
Yeah, and so I think that's the message here. I think that's our message for the night. Parents, stop letting your kids read.
Yes,
Put a movie on.
Stop letting your kids read.
Yeah.
No, actually, I do kind of agree with that. I do believe in exposing kids to as many
many different things as possible.
media texts as possible. Like, don't get them to just read books. You know, you can find gold in movies, in music, comics, everything. Let your kids have as broad a tastes as possible.
As long as it's Australian. All right, let's go.
I don't think so. We only get 2 or 3 Australian films a year.
Oh, really? And they have to be like filmed in Australia too?
Yeah, all of that stuff.
That's
Screen Australia are a bunch of snobs.
To be fair, the movies they put out can be quite good.
They can be, but they don't put out enough of them. That's the problem.
See you, Poe. I think that's like the 4th time you've left.
As they say, he's had more farewells than Cher.
What the hell is FSS?
FSS.
Is there a conversation I'm not aware of that's happening?
I have no idea.
There might be.
FFS.
See,
for Song and Shame?
I misread it because I thought Another
Thank you.
Monster was using the acronym for fuck's sake.
I did too. Oh man, read more. What? Gross. Oh yeah, smack my bitch up, dude. The music video to that one was really no.
Yeah, see, I'm aware of smack my bitch up. Like,
Dylan, that's Dylan, that's not. He's saying F. Wait, is he saying no FFSS, not FFS? There's a difference.
I mean, unless it means for shit's sake.
Good to see you. I haven't seen man. We haven't talked forever. Is this a banana joke, Banana Dave? I'm not gonna Google it. All right, let's keep going.
Moving swiftly on.
That doesn't explain it. I appreciate it though. I'm glad it took him a while, by the way, for him to start like me. All right, let's go. Let's do this.
With it, and their personal arcs, if they get them, aren't neatly resolved in time for it. Their death or brutalization is cruel and unfair because it's designed to feel cruel and unfair to the character they're supposed to hurt or motivate. But as a result,
Okay,
it undercuts the only.
It sounds like you're being redundant, sweetheart.
Yeah. This entire thing is just
cruel. The death is cruel and unfair because it's meant to be cruel and unfair to the main character. No shit.
Yeah.
Hell, it may not even be sympathy or empathy that the fridging is meant to inspire in us. Maybe the emotion a writer wants to inspire in someone is indignation or frustration or
Yeah, like, oh shit, that was so unfair. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's like, oh no, you know, the little girl got burned in a house fire. Shit. You know? Maybe that's exactly what
Good
the
Lord.
author wants. But that's just
Yeah.
speculation. The only thing you can do is actually speculate regarding author's intent and whatnot.
Yeah, by the way, look, we're always happy over here. We'll get some happy boys hanging out.
Yes, Wookie, we may be quote unquote gay, but you're the one watching us.
Yeah.
Just
Watch this
remember that.
peen. No, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So like, honestly, like, I don't think most writers care if you care for someone that is just a catalyst for the journey to come. They're not wanting to get real quick.
I think the audience is, that's the thing. I think this chick here is underestimating the audience. She's treating the audience like idiots, because I think the audience is far more discerning than that. They know what a character's for. They know why, for example, the wife of the grizzled ex-military man gets killed at the beginning of a movie. They know why it happens. They just don't ask questions. You know, the audience is way more intelligent than this chick gives them credit for.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was that hold on, I'm typing. Oh, I'll just say it. Yeah. I get that. I understand 100% about that. Anyway, so listen. So I think the writer or whatever, normally they aren't interested in you like getting the feels over a character that they're just using to start a story, right?
Yeah, a throwaway character. They're not.
Yeah,
they don't really want. Yeah, and the audience knows that too. The audience knows a throwaway character when they see one.
This
You know, like
in Florida.
as I said, take the dude at the beginning of, as I said last night, take the dude at the beginning of the first episode of Game of Thrones, right? The guy who gets the guy who gets killed
Sean
by
Bean.
the White Walkers or whatever.
Oh, that guy. Oh, that guy.
I'm talking the very first episode during the prologue.
Yeah.
Like, the audience knows he's a throwaway character. The audience knows he's likely to die.
Right.
And they just let it happen. They just let it happen because it's like, yeah, he's got to die so the plot can move forward.
Yeah. I think she really thinks everybody is that dumb.
It's kind of condescending to the audience, actually, but
A little bit, yeah. Let's see what she says.
Then again, the people who probably watch this swallow an anchor. Would swallow an anchor.
Yeah, they're so gullible they'll swallow an anchor. Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know how to respond to it without being dirty.
Just makes the experience relentlessly unpleasant and catharsis free for the audience. Now, this is not a mistake. This is an intentional part of the trope because it essentially sets up an unstable.
Wait, how does this set up an unstable Hold on. Fridging is intentionally narratively unsatisfying. This is terrible. This is terrible payoff. It's supposed to feel bad, so we sympathize with the character it ups. No, that's not. Oh, you're an idiot, dude. You
Again,
honestly,
like I said, you know, sometimes a death is just an event.
Hang on,
You
it
know,
says
we
here,
don't necessarily
we
have
feel
to
bad.
say-
What is it, Nikki? What does the text say? So we feel bad for the character
Yeah, it's supposed to feel bad, so we sympathize with the character it upsets.
Yeah, no shit. That's the point.
Yeah.
We're supposed to sympathize with the main character. We're supposed
I mean,
to go,
ideally, Sam,
it's like,
ideally.
Look, you could say the same thing of John Wick and his dog, Nikki. We
Yeah,
sympathize. We
by
sympathize.
then-
Like, we think,
so
oh
by the
god, the
time-
dog's dead. That's really sad. But we sympathize with John Wick, who lost his dog, and then we go on, and then we follow him on his killing spree, and we go, yeah, kill
but
him.
the thing is,
They
with
killed
John
the dog.
Wick, there'd at least been enough characterization of John Wick himself to actually make us sympathize with him rather than the dog. I mean,
Yeah,
of course, we
that
sympathize
too.
with dogs because humans naturally love animals, right? Especially innocent
More than they
ones.
do people.
I mean, some of them, like, I'm not crying tears over the dodo bird. You know what I mean? In fact, I think they should take the panda with them. They're dumb.
Anyway. Yeah. So by the time John Wick's dog dies, we at least know a little bit about John Wick himself. We know that.
But
about
I don't know about
his wife,
you, but my reaction when they kill the dog is, oh shit, those guys are gonna get it now.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah,
and
like you done
that's
fucked
exactly
up.
the thing. It's meant to inspire us. We know who
That's
John
meant to be
Wick
the
is.
point.
We know his background, and so when it actually happens, we go, "Oh shit, you've done. Oh, you're dead."
Hey, guys, I don't know what's happening, but we can relax there in the chat. So yeah.
What the hell's going on?
It's all right. We got it. Anyway, we'll go on with this. Oh man, this is what happened when you get all drunk on White Claw. I don't even know if that was that guy. If he's White Claw got him acting up. Oh man.
Narrative situation, the protagonist must now work to stabilize and resolve, usually by hunting down and stopping the killer. This is a motivation that
John
starts
Wick.
an arc. So
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's kind of the plot.
it's not meant
And
to feel like an arc.
Darius Munchausen's got it right too. John Wick's dog represents his ability to grieve. Absolutely. The dog, it's called symbolism. The dog represents something of John Wick's psyche.
I think it actually represents like almost his humanity, because like
that too. In fact, yes, great answer. Yeah.
Because if you remember what happened, like his wife actually
right.
Got him the dog.
And why his wife got him the dog in the first place.
Yeah, and essentially said, you need this in order to grieve, you need to look after something else, you'll just spiral and become essentially this, well, essentially what he became.
something non-human, yeah.
Yeah, someone who could easily turn off his emotions and start going on a killing spree.
Yeah.
All right, Poe, get some sleep, brother.
See ya, Poe.
All right, so yeah, definitely. Like he loses the wife, and then the dog's like the only connection he really has left from his wife, and then they take that too. Not to mention his car. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly. And the car. Actually, the car.
Yeah.
I would say that the so-called fridging doesn't even have to be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a car. It could be anything. Just something significant to the character in general.
Exactly. Somebody take my hat. Oh man, it's on.
Exactly.
All right, let's get it going.
Arc resolution, which is often the only part of a character death the audience halfway appreciates. But it betrays a fundamental dismissal of the fridged character, free for the audience. Now, this is not a mistake. This is an intentional part of the trope, because it essentially sets up an unstable narrative situation the protagonist must now work to stabilize and resolve, usually by...
Hold on. So C means by unstable narrative, C means that now there is a like a obstacle.
I don't know if unstable was the right choice
I was
of
going to
word.
say, what exactly is unstable about
Right.
a character having motivation to do shit?
Yes, exactly. What is unstable about a character
In fact,
having a
I'd
goal?
say a character having motivation, even if it is a death, is very stable.
I thought she
Yeah,
was.
exactly.
I thought she was using it in like a meta sense, like the narrative itself is unstable because you've
No, I don't know
committed
about
this
that.
trope, but that wasn't it
Look,
either.
That's the thing. Assuming you have committed the trope, right, and you actually have written it so badly that the death in question has absolutely no impact on reader or character. See Perrin in Wheel of Time, for example. That's when you might take issue with it, when it doesn't actually affect the character at all. That's the problem.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, well, the whole point of all these reactions and everything is to get the person to react as humanly possible. When someone dies, the story isn't necessarily about the death. It's about how they deal with that death.
How they deal with the death. Exactly. But the thing is, some writers, particularly modern writers, don't know how to human very well.
No, and that's how you get Perrin in Wheel of Time, whose wife died,
Right.
and throughout the whole series, he was like, What's happening?
Yeah, he was basically. I'm sorry to say this, but he was basically playing a dumbass throughout the whole series. It's really sad.
Man, that show really
he's not
affected
like
you
that in the
guys.
book. It was terrifying.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, y'all two are the only people I know that watched it. So like y'all keep referencing it because
you need to look. You need to watch Disparu's reviews on the whole thing.
Who?
Because Disparu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back.
All right.
And he also gives you a rough
dude.
idea of what the story is about.
You just gave me a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You know my Matchplanation Animal Kingdom series that I'm working on? Rhinosaur will be next. I think I may actually turn it into a review, like I'm reviewing the animal.
Okay. That sounds eyebrow.
What,
right?
like deciding or not whether God made a mistake?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah, do that. I think, I want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm gonna probably put out the
pros and cons and just go nuts.
Like, I mean, we all know. Let's face it. We all know that. Let's face it. We all know that God made a mistake when He made the panda.
Oh, that thing is so dumb, man. By the way, if you guys in the chat haven't seen my Matchplanation Animal Kingdom about pandas, make sure you do. It's only 5 minutes. Do it. Anyway, so
and it's free.
Yeah, it's free, and I got my Rhinosaur coming out soon too. But yeah, so like, I'm gonna kind of keep like the humors. Yeah, man, that's good, dude. I'm gonna do reviews on animals and judge them like God should have when He made them. All right, let's get it.
Hunting down and stopping the killer. This is a motivation that starts an arc, so it's not meant to feel like an arc resolution, which is often the only part of a character death the audience halfway appreciates. But it betrays a fundamental dismissal of the Fridge character, which undercuts the very emotional impact they're trying to invoke.
But they're not trying to see. This is where she's fucking up, right? They are not trying to have.
When John Wick's wife died, she wasn't
off screen.
Dismissed. No, yeah, she wasn't. But the thing is, she's trying to frame these deaths as if they're somehow dismissed. They're not dismissed.
Yeah, but she's also she's saying that she is assigning motivation again to the writers, right? Like saying that they are trying to make us have an emotional connection with the protagonist because of his loss, right? Because of what he lost.
Which is true for the most
part.
part.
Well, but that's what I'm saying though. I think that even they see this as like we don't need them to be invested in this part because this is just the catalyst to get us going into the story that they will be invested in. I think she's putting what so all these.
I think she's making it more important than it actually
damn it.
is.
That's what I was gonna say. I was trying to word it right. Like everything like as she tells us that there's not enough importance. Yeah, she's overdoing it. Whatever, man. I had that point.
As an example, when Alan Moore wrote
Counts
the
as mine.
joke, Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, is shot, paralyzed, and brutalized by the Joker entirely to upset Jim
I gotta read that one. That one sounds good.
Gordon and Batman and kick off one last terrible joke. She's not even killed, but how this traumatic event affects her is entirely glossed over in story. In fact, all she says.
I mean, except for this part here.
I don't actually think that's true. I think that's probably I think someone's making up little fibs, don't you? I'm pretty sure it's Babs, isn't it? I'm pretty sure they must have had a couple of issues with Babs dealing with that by now.
It's really weird for her. How worried she look, dude. She's obviously affected by it, and
says to Batman afterwards,
and
from
she's
a hospital
crying
bed.
and doing all the things you're supposed to do when you've gone through some horrible shit, you know.
And by the way, they don't have a film; they have like a little bubble to put all this in.
And
Also,
I don't know if she
hang on.
knows this. I don't know if she knows this, but like comic panels and like writing and editing and drawing comic panels and coloring comic panels, that shit actually costs money.
Yeah, Sam, I also wanted to point out, because it actually says it here in the panels, and I think what this this lady here is taking issue with is that Babs isn't fretting over what the Joker actually did to her. Instead, she's actually fretting over what the Joker might be doing to her father, which I would think, as a member of the Bat family and a superhero and a crime fighter and all that, I would have thought that'd be well within character.
No, it's in character for humans.
She's supposed to be heroic.
Yeah,
No,
Well, it's in character for heroes.
No, it's in character for humans in general, right?
Yeah, to worry about other people.
Yes, especially a family member. Even beyond that, a lot of people will use that to distract them from their own trauma if they focus on one other, right?
It's like saying, it's like saying my stuff doesn't matter, your stuff is more important.
Yeah, and because I'm guessing Babs has only just woken up, well, she's going to want to avoid that trauma by immediately going, okay, I know where I am.
Yeah.
I can deal with this later. The more pressing issue is, where is my father? What's happening to my father? Where the hell is the Joker? Batman, please fucking do something about it. Then I can get to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I think is probably happening here, but I bet she's not going to show any more of the comic. All right.
Yep. Because of course she's
Is
going
how
to take it out
worried
of
she
context.
is about what the Joker's going to
Yeah.
do to her dad. It's heroic of her to be concerned, but that's not why her reaction was written that way. Barbara didn't matter to this story.
Whoa, there you go again.
Whoa, that is
bullshit.
a big claim. That's a bold claim.
That is a
There you go
massive
again.
claim. Assigning motivation to the writer. Well done.
Alan Moore has actually said he kind of regrets treating her that way. He thinks his editor
I need receipts.
Yeah, give me receipts.
probably should have
Now,
reined him
if
in
the
instead of
actual author
responding with
said, if the actual author said, I did this for X reason, then you'd have a leg
Wait.
to stand on. But
Hold
until you've got receipts, nah.
I bet he did say, but she's misusing it though. I guarantee that he said about how they treated Barbara, not in the emotional like she doesn't matter way, but like how badly she was beaten
by the Joker and such.
Right.
Yeah,
So I
agree
just
with
heard.
Darius
I heard
that,
the last.
Barbara's not.
I heard the last 2 minutes of this when she was saying that Barbara's attack wasn't even addressed or anything. I mean, it was even in that issue. It's literally on the next page.
Is it really?
She wakes up. Yeah, she wakes up because she wakes up and she goes, "They're going after my dad." She cares about her dad first, more than anything. Yeah. That's showing her character, and not just that. She just went through a traumatic hell. She doesn't even know the full extent of her own injuries.
Yeah,
not yet.
She wants to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to her father.
And
she does deal with the issue. She was Oracle for nearly 200 issues. That's the thing. She went from being Batgirl to being Oracle in a wheelchair.
In 200 issues, they would have had to have covered some ground, even in terms of emotional development somewhere.
They cover it in a comic run called The Three Jokers. It's about the three different Jokers and confronting the actual Joker that shot her. And that's what that whole story is about. It's about her dealing with that grief and what it did to her and how it affected her relationships with everyone, not just with Batman, but her love life. And
well, that's great.
She took a panel and she's like, Batman, he's going to. The whole point of it of that story was he wanted to prove Batman is the ultimate goal. So Jim Gordon is being used to get to Batman. Barbara Gordon is being used to get to Jim Gordon. That's the whole point. Because all it takes is one bad day to turn you into the Joker, and that's his whole thing. So he's going to put Jim through the worst thing. He's going to show him all the images and all the pictures of everything that he just did to his daughter to prove to Batman that this is happening. So essentially, if you're talking about a character that's being used for another one, it's Jim Gordon. It's not even Barbara in this instance.
Yeah, dude, she is so wrong on this one. And by the way, I think I can speak for Sam and Nick. We based all of that on what the 4 panels that she showed. On the 4 that she chose to show, we already knew she was full of shit and just ripped it apart.
Yeah,
the basic thing.
4 panels. You can.
The basic thing is. If
get
you
her
have
character.
to look, if you have to take shit out of context to make a good point, chances are it's not a good point.
Chances are you're a communist.
So Soul
With
Assassin's
nine-
right. She wanted to get shot. You should have seen what she was wearing too. My God, entering the door like that.
Oh well, I changed my mind about the whole thing now.
Yeah.
Beat her again.
Apparently quoting, yeah, okay, cripple the bitch. That fundamental
See? Oh, did you not see what did I not tell you that she was going to take it out of context and use it to say that he was
use that tiny little line. There was a whole lot of writing before that line,
Well,
lady.
no.
I saw it.
that line goes against what she was saying. She's saying that the dude was like, I went like about how they misused the character in the way, the sense of like she didn't mean anything to the story. What he meant was that they were too they showed her being brutalized too much. But she's leaving that out and just leaving in that little clip right there.
Well,
Are you able to rewind just a little bit?
Of
so we
course.
can actually catch the.
Here.
is she saying that's what Frank Miller said?
Yeah,
Let's cripple the bitch.
no, the editor.
killed, but how this traumatic event affects her is
Just be ready to
entirely
pause.
glossed.
I want to actually catch the text that comes up on the thingamabob.
What, the one that said cripple the bitch?
Yeah,
Covering story.
there's
In
definitely.
fact,
more
all
to
she
that.
says to Batman afterwards from her hospital bed is how worried she is about what the Joker's gonna do to her dad. It's heroic of her to be concerned, but that's not why her reaction was written that way. Barbara didn't
Says
matter
who?
to this story.
Wait, what? No, that clearly shows that's Miller's writing and everything like that. He shows characters through their actions, through what they're willing to give up and sacrifice, and still put everything above them. That's a key thing to his writing. It always has been, and it always will be. People suffer, and it's at their worst. It's at their worst moments when you finally find out who the true character is.
Well, look, her entire argument goes out the window when she starts assigning motivation to other people. That's not how you make an argument.
She's still doing that, is she? She was doing that early on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just did it. She goes like, that's not why she was written that way. She was written that way because she doesn't matter to the story. What?
Yeah,
How would you know that?
She used the same argument for Gamora.
Yep. And Black Widow too. Everybody. That's the only argument she has.
I hadn't seen the Black Widow part yet. So
This entire argument basically comes down to the intention of the writer.
Yeah, and she's
the thing is,
And she doesn't know it.
If you're going to assume without receipts, if you're going to assume the intention of the writer without receipts, I have no time for you.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Alan Moore has actually said he kind of regrets
Just
treating her that
get
way.
ready to pause.
Oh shit! I said fuck with Frank Miller. Fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
I
Never mind.
was-
Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, my brain's not working.
He thinks his editor probably should have reined him in instead of responding with, and I am apparently quoting, yeah, okay, cripple the bitch. That
So did you see how it starts with she didn't matter to the story, and Alan Moore feels kind of bad about that, and then clearly he did not mean cripple her emotionally.
Can someone also tell me why she's got a picture of Padme there?
Because she died
Yeah, she
at
died.
the end of the third movie.
Yeah, she had no character arc. She was barely in all three movies.
Fridging
All right,
feels bad.
I'm gonna be backstage. So
All right, bro. Fridging feels bad because the dead character isn't being treated like a. So their death's impact is limited to other better written characters feeling bad, not the audience mourning. Did she not say some characters are written to be thrown away?
Yeah.
I don't think
fundamental
she's,
there for this character.
I don't think she's got a long memory.
dismissiveness on the
You know
part
what? Maybe her editor should have gave her some notes.
of the creator really does drive home that fridging is a fundamental
Oh, see what I said? Oh man, I missed that. I'm pretty sure she's blaming the writer again.
fundamental dismissiveness on the probably should have reined him in instead of responding with, and I am apparently quoting, yeah, okay, cripple the bitch. That fundamental dismissiveness on the part of the creator really does drive home that
Wait, but that wasn't even him dismissing it though. In your
That was
own
the editor.
made-up narrative, you're wrong.
That
fridging
was
is a
the editor
fundamentally
who said
broken
that, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it's not the creator.
No.
trope. If the author doesn't care about the character enough to give their pain narrative weight, they'll have a very hard time convincing the audience to care when they suffer.
Because, oh my God.
Look,
like
I
I
wouldn't
said
be
before,
taking.
it's not
I wouldn't
necessarily
be taking advice from Gail Simone any day.
Hang on. The thing is, we're not meant to care for the dead person. We're meant to care for the living person. They're the ones who are going to be going along with the story. They're the ones that it's their drive that's so it's that character that we're following throughout the story, not the dead person.
Yeah, and it may that death may not even be. They're not even using like, oh man, we got them really like this, like the save the cat moment, right? But instead, it's like mourn the dead. But like,
it seems to me that she's trying to make an argument that every death in a book needs to be meaningful.
right? But then she undermined it.
It really doesn't.
No, and see, yeah, she talked all about that. She undermined her own argument by saying some characters don't matter.
Exactly.
The
and
only
not
way
every
the
death
author
has to mean something. Not especially not right at the beginning. You know, when you do a death right at the beginning, it's a motivating factor. That's it. You don't need to read it any other way.
The only way the author can make the audience care in this situation is by making this.
Make the audience care in this situation is by making this unimportant death hurt another more important character. But since the
Wait.
That's how it works.
Oh, fuck me, dude. See what she just did, right? Okay, so she's conflating the two, right? So she's saying like the only way that. So apparently she's saying that the writer wanted us to feel bad, not for our protagonist, like what we've been saying, but for the victim or for the other character, right? And then, because he says like, but the only way that he can do that is by making you relate to another character that is being impacted by it.
Yeah, that's
Is it
exactly.
just me, or does she keep? Is it just me, or does she keep treading over the same ground?
Oh, absolutely, and getting it wrong.
And like I said, as the well, not like I said, just and as the character goes along in the story, we get closer to that character, and by the time they actually do end up facing their grief, usually towards the middle of the story, or maybe even a little bit after the middle, that's when we feel something. Because we're sympathizing and empathizing with the main character, not the dead person. The dead person's sympathy comes later.
If you're writing and you're going after immediate impact, you're doing it wrong. You're
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you're wanting investment to happen, over time. Not much, because then you don't want to go into the second act. And nobody gives a shit about it. But what I'm saying is like. Yeah, no, like I think she is in that mindset of having people, having an impact on people like immediately. She wants that immediate feels on everything.
And if it doesn't do
no
that,
investment.
it's wrong.
Yeah. No time to let anything develop.
the fridged character, they'll have a hard time writing the more important character's reaction to their fridging. The more
What? Why would they?
important character cares more about the fridged character than the author does. So how is the author supposed to write their grief when they clearly can't even imagine?
They wrote everything. Are you serious?
Does she? I'm sorry, but does she actually? Here's another one. Does she actually provide decent examples of where this actually happens?
No, because she would have to show us an author who couldn't, he didn't know how to write the protagonist because he didn't care about the character.
Examples, an example of where it's done well, an example of where it's actually done terribly. It'd be good to know, where to find these things, but she just seems to be.
So
give us a bit of illustration, please.
So,
yeah,
dude,
a little bit, yeah.
So how is the author supposed to know, to write their grief when they clearly can't imagine? Oh, it better be good.
Imagine it. It comes across as shallow and
Imagine
hollow
it. So because that, oh my God.
because on a very real level it is. A fridging isn't just lacking in resolution, it's usually lacking in real emotional weight. We're lucky if we really know the character who dies, and if we don't, then killing them only affects us by how it affects the characters.
That's the point of them, motherfucker.
That's the point. That's the point.
But only if we care about those characters in turn.
No, oh no, dude. It's like you meet
But
the character, right?
She doesn't know how empathy works. Like,
Oh,
seriously,
you know what? I
does she
bet
not
she
know
is.
how empathy works?
I mean, most people that far left don't.
No, yeah, no, I agree with you there. They talk a big game about empathy and
Right. But it's just
all that
a
sort of stuff,
tool.
but they don't want to apply that standard to themselves. It's for everyone else to empathize with
Yes.
them.
Correct.
Killing off a character we're not invested in tells us that character was never going to matter on their own merit, which can disengage the audience from the story.
Not really.
Wait. If it's a
Yeah,
character we
matter on
don't
their own
care about that dies, then why would we care that they were never meant to be cared about? We don't care about them.
The thing is, the person that dies isn't the main character. We're meant to
Yeah.
empathize and engage with the main character, not some side
Yeah.
character.
Not some random.
But how can you do that though? How can you do that if now you know that that character was never going to be anything? We can go on.
As a whole. So opening a story by fridging someone sends a pretty clear message to the audience that most characters don't matter, which speedruns the disengaged audience.
Okay, again, you are making a lot of assumptions here. Like, she's assuming that if people are killed early on, like we'll say at a wedding, a red one. No, like we were invested by that point, but it doesn't matter. To just assume that if we see people killed, like, oh well, I guess nobody matters in this one. I've never seen a character get killed this soon and off screen in a movie before. I'm out.
I know. It's like the thing is, again, the dead person isn't the main character. We're meant to be following the main character, and we're meant to feel for the main character. Has this person ever read a book in their entire life?
But hold on. So it sends a pretty clear message.
Pretty clear message to the audience that most characters
don't matter. With speedruns, the disengage. But most characters don't matter.
Also, most characters don't die. There are other characters.
By the way,
more than one person who's around.
By the way, you know what people hate is when they have plot armor. So let's use her knowledge, right? So we see a chick get fritzed, yes, and now we're like, oh well, most of these characters don't matter, so they could die at any point. Now we don't know who's gonna die.
Don't matter, which speedruns the disengaged audience problem right out of the gate. Fun fact, this is how Supernatural begins. I tried one.
Anybody seen Supernatural? I can't see the chat.
I do know. I do know about the first episode where, spoiler alert, their mother dies in demon possession.
Right.
Type
Okay.
Thing, and that's what spurs them on their quote unquote adventure.
Oh man, but how is the writer able to do that? Does he have a mom? I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. This one is making out as if fridging should never be a motivation.
And also it depends. Let's be honest. It also depends on where in the episode the fridging occurs. Like, for example, most people generally follow. I mean, in an episode, generally you get this format. You get an opening scene. You get some setup. You might even foreshadow some complication. You get a complication, and by the end of the episode, somebody dies. Right?
Well, depending on the show, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the show, somebody dies, and then it spurs the character onto their journey, and that's what episode 2
in a show like
usually is
Supernatural,
about.
it's really like any. I was going to say it's really like any police procedural, where it starts off with a problem. The boys come in.
Well, look,
they do a little bit of
one.
detective work.
You've just made the point. You've just made the point for me. Look at any crime or police procedural show.
Right, every Law and Order.
Every Law and Order.
You show up at a bar.
In fact, it's very much a rule. I don't know if you'd say it's a cliche, but it's almost a rule. It's almost the law of crime fiction. The first thing you discover in a crime fiction show is the body.
Yeah, and then
generally speaking.
Yeah, then you have to have them go to a bar and be like, hey, do you recognize this person? What, here in New York? Of course. Saw it here Tuesday night between 5:30. And then you got to go to the you got to go to like
and
the
then,
docks.
like that's what I said at the beginning. Like you might get a little bit of a setup here and there, like to introduce the main character, for example. Like I mean, I'm using Agatha Christie for an example, but there are some Agatha Christie novels, for example, where you'd have this massive setup of the whole village or the whole town or whatever, and then the key characters. You meet the key characters, and then the dead body is found somewhere at the end of the first act, where it's
right.
You've introduced everyone, and everyone is set up. All of their motivations are set up, and then you find the body, right? But then there are crime stories which aren't like Agatha Christie, where you pretty much start with the body, and then you introduce your detective, you introduce your characters, and so on. Like Law and Order is a good example of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you hit up the bar, you hit up Doc, or you have somebody that's unloading something but can't stop to talk to you, so they still unload the boxes while they give you information.
It's pretty much, put it this way, it's pretty much a staple of crime and mystery fiction.
Yeah.
Start with a body.
Ooh, and it opens with like a group of people just walking like, what did you think about the game last night? Oh man, it was so great. And then they find a dead body.
And then they find the dead body. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah. It's usually, when you watch a show like that,
it's like a cold open.
Usually, well, that's it. It's usually the cold open. It's the stinger. And, you usually get some woman who stumbles upon the body and then screams and then cut to the title sequence. Yeah. There you go.
And then dum dum.
Exactly. Dun dun dun.
Hey, lawyer guys. I'm guessing y'all haven't seen Ted either.
Oh, we've seen Ted.
Oh, okay.
I like Ted.
Watching it way back.
I like both of them. By the way, I know I'm going to be alone in this one, but I really like Seth MacFarlane's movie, A Million Ways to Die in the West. It cracks me up.
I don't have an opinion on it because I actually haven't seen it, but I did like Ted. I thought Ted was fun.
Just after the first season or so, but I remember the pilot because it's burned into my brain.
By the way, this bothered her so much she finished off the entire season.
Yeah, like she's never heard of crime fiction before. Like honestly.
But I'm just saying, like, it bothered her to the point to where she only was able to finish one season.
Even at the time, I could kind of tell the writing.
That's like 20-something episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
What show is this? What show is it?
Supernatural.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's like 20-something episodes. She
she's referring
hated
to
it so much that she sat through 20-something 30 to 40-minute episodes.
Well, look, we all know what she was doing. She was flicking the bean to Jensen Ackles.
Whoa. No, sir, I do not care for you going blue. You've been hanging out too long with Yeti and Grant.
Quiet you.
Meet our protagonists as young children in an idyllic home with their father and mother. Smash cut to the
Yeah,
night their father wakes up to see his wife.
Oh, dude, that's a
actually,
fucking...
She's not referring to the mother in the fridge. That happens to the mother, but at the very end of the first episode, it also happens to Sam's girlfriend.
Oh, that's a twofer, huh?
It's called a double body mystery.
Yeah, he lies down on his bed. He looks up at the roof. She's on the roof, and then all of a sudden, she catches on fire and burns the house down.
So,
yeah.
So right there, just a little bit, I know that this character is actually very important because this what happened when they're young. Now they're grown and they're seeing it again, and it's not their mother; it's the girlfriend. Like, that's a good setup.
Look, much of this stuff that she's going on about is entirely subjective. What she thinks is unimportant might be important to someone else.
Well, it's not just that.
She's making a hell of a lot of subjective judgments here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's subjective. It's objectivity. It's all subjectivity.
Absolutely, yeah. She's assigning motivation to everyone.
Ceiling with a horrified expression.
Yeah.
Then she explodes and the house burns down. Smash cut to the main plot. It's a couple decades later. Brother 1 is in college and has a girlfriend. Brother 2 shows up and tries to give him a call to adventure to make the actual plot happen. Brother 1 is reluctant because he's got so much going on for him in his personal life right now. Then Brother 1's girlfriend gets stuck to the ceiling and explodes, so it's time for a road trip. The first time it happened, it was kind of spooky. The second time...
That's called following a general plot line. It's called the hero's journey.
Well, it's not just that. It's the OOI demon that did it to them, and he did that on purpose to get them to go them into following and getting back in life, because
that was the motivation. Yeah,
because
that's
it's a
also the
life
key
of
mystery.
misery.
That's
Yeah.
also the key mystery, isn't it? Why did he do it in the first place?
Yeah, it was literally what it was in this scenario is they're the ones that happened because they had nothing to do with any of it. This guy used the other person's loved ones to get to them.
Yeah. See, I've never seen the show, so I'm working on what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've seen it. I wasn't doing any of that Bean stuff that you were talking about earlier.
None of that. Oh,
Time
man.
it happened, I actually laughed. I looked this up to make sure I was remembering the details right, and apparently in the plot, both of these women were killed specifically because the bad guy had plans for the protagonist, and in the case of the girlfriend, he's the one who introduced them in the first place, specifically so he could manipulate the protagonist by killing her. That's just
because the protagonist is the main character.
Yeah, if she doesn't follow up I mean God, that is brilliant. She's wrong.
so funny. That's the pilot. No wonder death is meaningless in this show. So Fridging tries to
Wait, what? Oh, clearly disposable. Plus all narrative focus put on other character. The one that's alive, yes.
Yeah, the one that's alive and indeed the main character of the show.
Like, look, audience is not made to mourn the character who actually died. We're not supposed to. Because we don't know that bitch.
We're supposed to get on with the fucking story. And Wookie, I don't actually think our voices are that high pitched.
Yeah, they do have a natural Aussies, yeah, they naturally. Yeah, because you have to talk like these.
Oh, fuck off. We don't talk like that.
Yeah. So I would agree that this would be against our bylaws, but it's because she is so dumb and wrong about everything she's saying, we make the exception. Yeah, I bet it is.
What are we making the exception to?
Oh, that because we have a woman rambling on our channel.
Right, okay.
All right, let's see what
we
she
do
does.
that around here.
No.
It gives us a character who clearly doesn't matter on their own, and then kills them in a way that highlights that they didn't matter to the story by their own merit, but then tries to tell us that their death really, really mattered to the character we're supposed to sympathize with.
But it did matter. It shaped the entire thing. They had nothing to do with the underworld until their mother was killed, and then when they got into it, and they were doing that, and then when they tried to get back out of him, the demon brought this girl into this guy's life just for him to fall in love.
Yeah, as far as I can make out, she wants the character, the dead character. As far as I can make out, she wants the dead character to matter in her own right.
Yes, yeah,
But
whole
she does.
arc.
That's the point. But she had a whole episode. That's more than most. Actually, there were six people that died in that episode.
I'll clarify. I'll clarify. Yeah. She wants the character to matter, but she doesn't want the character to matter
for someone else, right?
Yeah, for someone else.
She wants the dead character to have her own agency even after death.
Yeah. Like, she's not allowed to matter to any other character but herself. In fact, you could say that the character has effectively got to be a narcissist.
Well, I mean,
so it's an insert. It's an insert character.
Oh yeah, it's definitely self-insert.
Yep.
Well, something needs to be inserted, and quick sticks.
Wow, what is going blue tonight, huh, guys?
And leave those beans alone.
Oh,
They've done nothing to you.
Well, I could look if you want me to, Grant. I could change it up for another cruciferous vegetable and say checking the lettuce instead.
Oh yeah,
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, I mean it's better than calling it a salmon trench or something, I guess.
I mean, there's flicking the bean, checking the lettuce.
Okay, we're moving on. What
else have we got?
Yeah,
moving on.
Make sure there's no mayo on it. And the edges have gone all crispy and starting to brown and peel a bit.
I love this show. Gee. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. That was good.
A character in trouble whose only trait we're given to care about is that they're in trouble. It's almost the epitome of tell, don't show. If we don't care about the character and they...
Wait, hold on. Does he say tell, don't show? I thought it was show, don't tell.
Yeah, that's generally. And guess what? There's another step to that, which I would add. Show, don't tell. And when you can't show, imply. Right?
Okay, yeah.
I.e., that's
They
why
die
stuff
quickly
happens
and
off screen sometimes.
There we go.
It's almost the epitome of tell don't show. If we don't
Right, she's saying it right. Tell, don't show.
Wait, I think she's saying what they're doing currently is the epitome of them doing
I got
tell
you.
and not showing.
You're right.
don't care about the character and they die quickly and unceremoniously, we'd never have a reason to care. If we do care about the character and they die quickly and unceremoniously, and all we focus on is how bad that makes someone else feel, it feels like a bad use of their potential, and it makes us aware of the hand of the author, which is never a good
But they
thing.
have no
Now,
potential if they're there to do that, and that's not what tell don't show is and show don't tell is. She's mixing her metaphors again. She did that earlier. Like I don't understand her point. She's taking something like that's used in filmmaking where if you're going to have an action, do the action and then don't say the action. And now she's equating that to potential of characters because we didn't get to see them. So because we didn't get to see them, when he Sam saying, you know, in the third or fourth episode, it's like today would have been her 25th birthday. We were supposed to go to Long Island to something or other. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Is that not? I mean, is that not acknowledging the dead character's significance?
Yeah, but she's using that as evidence of telling, not showing. She wanted them to show them going to him, dragging her corpse around Long Island or wherever they were going.
I gotta disagree. She wants to see her celebrate her 25th birthday alone, without them, because she is her own character. She has her own agency, dead or alive, doesn't matter.
Yeah, she has to be completely unconnected to the rest of the world.
That's right.
So it's her show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's actually
But then if it is her show, wouldn't she say the same thing about the other characters that show it isn't?
Is it a straight white male?
Well, actually, there was 4 or 5 people that died in that first episode, the first 2 episodes that are involved around that one story. She only seems to be caring about one of them, and she had the biggest arc out of all of them. So I'm confused to what her problem is. Is it she doesn't like when women characters die? Because this isn't fridging.
I mean, neither was Gamora
without
or
this character
Black
in
Widow.
there, nothing. She's legitimately the most important character in the entire series.
Honestly, I'm a bit confused because it seems to me that she's been retreading the same ground for a while now, and it's like, can we get to an actual point? Or keep it really basic. Sometimes I just want to scream in her face and just say, "Look, bitch, what do you want?
Yes.
Tell me what you want."
She's getting awfully close to counteracting her own arguments.
She's already done it. You missed it. She already done it. She went on and on about how some characters aren't important and they're there just to serve the narrative. She already went over all that.
But that was fuck yeah. Her initial point was all characters are important, and you can't have a character that just serves. Okay.
George,
I'm
what's up,
home.
brother?
Hey, what's up?
I'll be back on in like 15 minutes.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Where are you going? I
Oh,
show
hey,
up
George.
and you leave?
All right. Well, I'll just mute myself then. So I'm still here, George. Don't worry, buddy.
Hey there.
Hey, so to catch you up, this lady's an idiot. And she is talking about the fridging.
What the fuck is fridging?
Dude, you never heard fridging?
No, I never heard of fridging.
Hey, Nick, Sam, can one of y'all explain it while I go get something?
Okay, basically, it is when
guys.
a character. It's when a character is unceremoniously, usually at the beginning of a movie or a series or anything like that. It's when a character is unceremoniously shoved into the fridge or killed, so to speak, in order to motivate other characters, usually the main character, and this is somehow a problem.
In like what movie? You mean like a serial killer, murder, just any?
Well, anything. Like for example, you watch a movie about a grizzled, military man or a detective or something, and for example, someone comes along and murders his wife, and then
one of those. Okay.
The grizzled dude goes on a murdering spree, like John Wick or something. So for example, when a character, usually a wife or a daughter, because I think Gail Simone wants to make this about women, is unceremoniously killed, so it motivates another character, usually the main character.
And who's making this complaint?
This bitch.
And
Overly Sarcastic Productions.
Oh, that's the name, Overly Sarcastic Productions? And she
Yeah,
doesn't.
she's
And
just
she
going,
doesn't like.
She's just going about it in a really ambiguous and self-contradictory way, shall we say?
But what did she want instead? That they're not killed?
Well,
to not give
that's
them
it. She wants, to summarize, she basically wants every character who like has an unceremonious
All right,
death
I'm back.
to matter in their own right. They have to be sufficiently rounded before they die. They have to apparently not matter to the main character, so they can only matter to themselves.
So
oh god,
bullshit.
what else?
So bullshit.
Yeah, basically a bunch of horseshit. And also, they really, and of course, we should care more about the person who died than the main character who has to live on with the grief and so on.
Well, it's like the beginning of Reacher. The whole reason that's done is it's a plot mechanism. It's to give motivation to the character to act.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Motivation is wrong, George. That's what she's trying to say.
So what does she want? That there's no motivating factor, therefore the character just kind of aimlessly walks through for 2 hours?
Well, she's fine. I think she's okay if the character dies, but she needs to still have agency.
Fuck them. I hate that agency shit. I'm so sick and bloody tired of agency.
I'm pretty sure earlier she said that, and sometimes the character is too dead to matter.
What does that mean? Too dead?
I don't know.
Who is this moron? They're not in charge of anything, are they?
Well, so the channel is Overly Sarcastic Productions with 1.9 million subscribers.
So she's being sarcastic then, right? She's not being sincere.
No, this is sincere.
Come on.
No, this is completely.
It can't be sincere. It's called Overly Sarcastic Productions. No.
So this is so they do different type of videos on here. And this is a whole series that they have. They go over queer coding and villains. Like
queer coding? What the hell is queer coding?
It's when a character is effectively, shall we say, stereotyped, so that they may or may not be gay, but they are quote unquote, shall we say, written like they're gay. Yeah.
So that we're led to believe that they may be.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so they're not explicitly, they may or may not be gay, they're not explicitly referred to as gay, but they're written in a particular way that apparently makes the audience think.
Okay, so all I heard for half my life is we don't have gay representation in film. So they go, you're not showing gay people properly because the fact that you're showing them as straight, hiding that, so you're saying that they're shamed. So then they start to show them properly and they're saying, well, you're showing them properly?
No, so here's the counter to that. Because there was representation, but always as the villain, always shown as an outsider, as a problem, as something to be worried about. Thus, that led to more real life violence. Blah 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 blah.
There's no correlation.
All the letters.
Okay, but there's no correlation. That's like the video game argument. More people play video games and more violence.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Dude, I'm not making the argument. Don't yell at me.
Correlation, yeah.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Right. That's like in ancient Rome. They didn't have video games. It still slaughtered people.
Yeah, but those were mostly straight white men. So we can go on.
Some authors recognize this without really recognizing the problem, and will try to play it one of two ways. In one school of thought,
hold on.
Character will
Does anyone make videos about this twat?
Die quickly.
Oh yeah. People have covered this.
Unceremoniously, we never have a reason to care. If we do care about the character and they die quickly and unceremoniously, and all we focus on is how bad that makes someone else feel, it feels like a bad use of their potential, and it makes us aware of the hand of the author, which is never a good thing. Now, some authors recognize this without really recognizing the problem, and will try to play it one of two ways. In one school of thought, the soon-to-be fridged character will suddenly be given an unprecedented amount of on-screen focus and a handful of.
By the way, that doesn't just happen there. In scary movies, the girlfriend and I do this all the time. Like, oh, they're too happy. Those bitches are dead.
Yeah, you know that. That's the point.
Yeah. Oh, that guy's too black. He's the first one to die. Nope. Let me hang out there.
Well, just like Eddie Murphy used to say.
Not in modern films, but maybe.
No. Now, in modern films, oh, you're too white. You're going to die. You better not be straight. You're not going to make it out this movie.
Oh, yeah.
That makes no. Who is this more? I have to make a video about this.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that.
I have to make a video about this,
dude. I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole. They have a ton of these videos, man.
Go for it. It's content, if nothing else.
No. I despise people with this circular logic that is around for no reason. They're the problem in society. Oh, man. Did you see them squashing the bugs? The bugs didn't have agency. It's a bug.
Dude, what I love is that you've been here. You've seen probably 10, maybe 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. It's not possible. Did you hear her? Her voice annoys me.
Oh man, like, she definitely has an effect on people.
And who the hell subscribes to her? Are people just laughing at her?
Dude, no, like it's not like this video has almost 1 million views. Like,
I know, 1 million bots, maybe. Come on, how is it possible?
No, dude, because I'm thinking, well, no, because then she still wouldn't have that view count. like. I was thinking maybe one of the earlier YouTube channels, that made it big because like there wasn't many options. But would that count?
But who is stupid enough to listen to that? You see what I'm saying? We're making fun of it, but you're telling me that this got enough views. I'm trying to reason this. A lot of human beings sat behind a desk, looked at their phone, iPad, at a pool in the shitter, and they put this on. And they decided that, wow, this is fascinating.
But yes, he does a lot of history vids too. Boy, I would hate to be a guy that loves history and come across one of hers, because if she treats that subject of the history, if she treats that as she has this, those videos are going to be horrible.
I need to make a George Giant Slayer video where the Giant Slayer. I can't.
Yeah, I would be careful doing violent accents towards.
Not violent, ridicule.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Verbally murder.
Yes.
Or purposefully heartwarming or cute character traits to quickly get the audience invested in this hitherto non-character so it feels halfway momentous when they die. I like to call this the Whedon School of Fridging or the Coulson effect.
Dude, there are so many better options.
Every Steven Seagal movie starts out with someone dying. That's therefore he goes out to kill everybody. That's kind of like,
dude, there's so many movies
Charles
like that.
Bronson, John, just like.
I'm telling you, the girlfriend and I do this all the time. As soon as we see somebody being too happy, you're dead.
Well, think about it. If you actually followed this twat's formula, right? Okay. And you obviously this is a stepping stone for her, so she would take it eventually further. Like, well, you just can't kill anybody. You can't kill off people who are supposed to be killed off. That would be like John Wick going, you know what? My puppy didn't die, my wife didn't die, but I just want to fucking murder everybody. Like,
yeah, like changes everything about him. Yeah. All right, let's see what.
This is the author's attempt to speedrun the getting the audience invested process without having to actually make the character stand on their own or, like, matter. And on the flip side, sometimes a fridge character will give some kind of token justification for why their death is okay, actually. Usually
Wait, suddenly totally at peace. Have I told you guys I finished my bucket list? The last thing was a croissant.
along the lines of, I'm at peace now, or I already have everything I wanted, or the real treasure was our friendship, or something. This is an attempt to kludge together a satisfying character resolution so it doesn't feel completely unceremonious, but it suffers from the fact that the fridged character definitely didn't have an arc leading up to it. It doesn't fully counterbalance the disengaging gut punch of an unceremonious.
Wait, by the way, how can she tell if, like, which characters like have potential for more story and which ones don't? Because, like, especially in an action film, there's so many people that are being killed and we don't even know their names. They're just, thug number 1, henchman 4.
Okay,
like, why are they killed? Why can't they have a story?
What about zombies? Why don't they get a fucking story?
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, so she like draws this line, and then she pulls the ladder up after this fridged woman to where no other character that we don't even know their name can be even thought about.
Harmonious character death because it feels token and disconnected. If the character's arc was really resolved, we probably...
Wait, that's not what token. How's he using token?
Yeah, so we're basically going off feelings here. We're not going off
This isn't real. Yeah, she's not real. This is a gender studies major.
How bad that makes someone else feel, it feels like a bad use of their potential, and it makes us aware of the hand of the author, which is never...
you're also assuming that they had any potential.
Thing.
Right.
Now, some authors recognize this without really recognizing the problem and will try to play it one of two ways. In one school of thought, the soon-to-be Frigid character will suddenly be given an unprecedented amount of on-screen focus and a handful of purposefully heartwarming or cute character traits to quickly get the audience invested in this hitherto non-character so it feels halfway momentous when they die. I like to call this the Whedon school of fridging or the Coulson effect. This is the author's attempt to speedrun the getting the audience invested process without having to actually make the character stand on their own, or, like, matter. And on the flip side, sometimes a fridged character will give some kind of token justification for why their death is okay
Token
actually,
justification,
usually along the
that
lines
was
of, I'm at peace now, or I already have everything I wanted, or the real treasure was our friendship, or something. This is an attempt to kludge together a satisfying character resolution so it doesn't feel...
What does kludge mean? I haven't heard it before.
I think they spelled it incorrectly.
Is that like a
I've never
word
heard of
only
it.
women know?
I have never heard of it.
Oh, it's a real word. Hold on, I got it right here. It's an ill-assorted collection of parts assembled to fulfill a particular purpose.
It's a makeshift solution. It's basically her argument. It's her argument.
Completely ceremonious, but it suffers from the fact that the fridged character definitely didn't have an arc leading up to it. It doesn't fully counterbalance the disengaging gut punch of an unceremonious character death because it feels token and disconnected. If the character's arc was really resolved, we probably shouldn't need to hear them say it out loud seconds before they die. It's like how we shouldn't need to hear the characters say I love you to know they're in love, you know? I love you shouldn't be a surprise to the audience, and neither should I'm totes cool with death now. Both just end up feeling like a way to compensate for inadequate writing last minute. You may recall...
Who is this fucking moron? It's Satan. That's it. Look at the beady little red eyes.
Did both of these things, and it was bad because neither of these writing tricks make up for wasted character potential.
Oh, there you go. Was she wasted?
Yeah, dude. See, this is the second.
It's a sacrifice. How many fucking movies she's been in? Like,
No.
you gotta have a whole trilogy? I mean, what?
This is the second time that she brought her up. All right, how not to fridge. Oh, here you go, Sam, Nick. One of you want to read it because you're the one like, what does she want to do? There you go.
Okay, I'll read it. How not to fridge. What was that? Treat the character like a main character, or at least a beloved secondary character.
There it is.
It's like, no. There's only so much time on screen, and if you're
Or
talking about
page.
books, there's... Huh?
Or
Yeah,
a
exactly.
page.
There's only so much page time. You can't have a fucking doorstop of a book.
Of course not, because that's called a book.
Yeah, it's a book. I mean, you're only meant to focus on the important things. Like, if we all started focusing on bloody
On women,
unimportant characters-
You'd end up with something like War and Peace, where everybody's got
No,
four
not
names.
even War and Peace. You'd have something like
Little Women.
huge, like, bigger.
Oh, I just meant like with women in it.
Yeah, if you want. Let's continue. So, give them a character beyond their relationship with the hero. Again, there's only so much time they're attached to. Hopes, dreams, agency, other relationships. Why they're meant to die. Give their death time and wait to have an impact on the character. Not if that character is not important.
Not if they're supposed to literally die to motivate someone. That's the purpose.
Also, how much time do you want to take up in this movie or book or whatever, spending on like...
It's called a
this is really
runtime.
good.
And
Right.
movies, and believe it or not, movies have budgets.
Yeah, of course. Could you imagine Saving Private Ryan and that first, 15-minute scene of the soldiers being killed on Omaha?
We had to go
Beach?
back to the backstory of each one of them.
It's like you're gonna have a 7-part movie.
This is where you're wrong, though, because there was no women there, so we wouldn't bother.
Character, not just one scene or a couple of minutes of stoicism. Remember the off-screen and property damage tests when handling the emotional weight. What? That went right over my head. That one.
Yeah, me too. Let me look it up. What is it? It's off screen. And what was the second part?
Property damage tests.
Yeah,
What does property damage tests have to do with anything? This is like some philosophy student who's also into gender studies, maybe like some basket weaving.
I don't think philosophy at all. Oh wait, she did bring up Thume, didn't she?
Yes.
No, that was somebody else. That was a different video.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, we were watching a different one where they brought up Thum.
Some people aren't smart enough for philosophy, is what I'm saying, and I think she took all the wrong. Because think about it, philosophy in a school today, not from years ago.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you're gonna definitely be studying a lot of the French guys.
She read one page of a French postmodernist work, and she thinks she understands how the whole world works.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look that up later. Let's get this done.
Avoiding fridging is a matter of giving the character their narrative due. It's about treating them like they really are the hero of their own story, and writing their death or brutalization as if that's where the story actually ends. How much more impactful would a fridging be if the story actually acted like an important story was ending with their death? And how many riots would there be if an actually important main character was iced as unceremoniously as these fridging victims are? If Captain America...
Wait, what did she say?
How much time have you got? How much time have you got? Seriously.
Yeah, you don't. Her movie would be 8 hours.
They really are the hero of their own story, and writing their death or brutalization as if that's where the story actually ends. How much more impactful would a fridging be if the story actually acted like an important story was ending with their death?
Look, the death might be more... Look, here's the counter argument. The death would be more impactful, sure, but the rest of the movie wouldn't be.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so I love this. And how many riots would there be if an actually important main character was iced unceremoniously? I don't know if you ever heard of this film, George. It's called No Country for Old Men.
Oh my God, exactly. I like that.
Josh Brolin was killed off screen.
Yep.
Some may say unceremoniously.
That was kind of the point.
Yeah. That was the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we just ask her the argument about the chicken and the egg?
If an actually important main character was iced as unceremoniously as these fridging victims are. If Captain America had gone over that cliff with a token little half smile and an I'm at peace now, there would have been...
Token little half smile.
There would have been fucking riots in the street.
So she doesn't like it. This is the point, is so she's trying to break down masculinity and the entire structure is what she thinks. So she wants this kind of like to bring this socialist bullshit to movies.
Streets, and you know it. I guess this is just another trope that boils down to it's better to write actual characters with agency and personal goals instead of people-shaped plot devices.
Fuck off.
It's funny how often that happens. So, yeah, and thanks again to World Anvil for sponsoring this video. As you may know, World Anvil...
I'm not giving you the ad.
Oh my God.
All right. Wow. Well, that was something. This is since yesterday. Yeah, we're done with it now though, finally. And
all right, I'm back. Let's finish the rest of this video.
And yeah, we're gonna call it there.
What was this site's name again? One more time.
Oh, I think I actually had the link.
Productions.
I think I had. Yeah, did I put the link already? No, that's Kluge.
It's called what? One more time. I couldn't hear what.
Overly Sarcastic Productions.
Overly Sarcastic. Okay, so I have got to.
I think all the thumbnails are virtually the same, so you should
I
find
found it.
easily.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, there we go. Cool.
I gotta put this on my list too.
Oh, there's bound to be some great content in that.
Oh, she's a moron. This is just about how she feels at the second. I feel this way. What?
I mean, she's no thought slime, put it that way.
Oh man.
Oh Christ. What do you think's more irritating? A thought slime or this chick?
Well, so I think the subject matter with thought slime can be just as like not irritating, but like because of what he talks about is a lot more. It has a lot more impact in the real world, in you know what I mean. Like it really triggers people. Versus this is her talking about movies. I think this is easier for people to be able to handle. I think.
Yeah, I think this is a bit more of a lighter sort of thing. And
yeah,
while she comes across trying to be a little bit more of an intellectual, she doesn't come across as condescending. Like she's trying to talk down to us like thought slime. What I've seen, and just remember, I've missed the second half.
I agree. That's really true, though. I mean, she may come across like she's a bit up herself, but at least like thought slime, she doesn't actually patronize the audience.
She has videos on Lovecraft.
Oh, she has on Mary Sue. Strong female characters.
Come on,
like
turn on Lovecraft for a second. I gotta hear just 5 seconds of what this is.
Oh, are you sharing it?
I don't have it. I just saw Soul Assassin said.
Oh no,
"Hear
Soul
her
Assassin said it.
What? Wait. On what? What?
That video.
Soul Assassin
Sorry.
said it in the chat that she
Oh,
has
okay.
a video on Lovecraft.
Because I'd love. I mean, what is she gonna do to Lovecraft? He makes boogie monsters,
He does.
and they're bad. They don't have agency. Maybe
Probably
we need
some,
to know about
probably some
Cthulhu.
bullshit about him being racist or problematic.
I was going to say,
like
would
that.
be racist, yes.
What about Cthulhu? Maybe he wasn't pet by his daddy Fulu. I don't know. You know, maybe he needs agency.
I'll have to ask Cora Amorata on that one. She'll know.
Probably.
What's this channel's name?
Overly sarcastic.
Productions.
Productions.
Oh wow, there's a lot of videos.
Yeah. What's the point of the fucking Iliad? What do you mean? What's the point of the Iliad? That's one of her videos. The Odyssey.
Oh my god! If she has to go at Hector in his shiny helmet, I'm gonna lose it.
To describe Howard Phillips Lovecraft as a man with issues.
I
It's
got that
more
one.
like he was a bundle of issues shambling around in a roughly bipedal approximation of a man. Chronically depressed, hypersensitive to criticism, almost certainly agoraphobic, prone to horrible nightmares and nervous breakdowns, and thoroughly racist even by the standards of the time.
There we go. I was just like, okay, so she's clinically diagnosed him. I'm like, she hasn't called him racist or sexist yet. Oh, there it is.
It'd be easy to come to the conclusion that H.P. Lovecraft was simply afraid of everything. But this isn't true either. He was just afraid of everything that wasn't his hometown of Providence, Rhode Island. Lovecraft is famous for codifying
you just said he was agoraphobic. So he was literally afraid of everything outside of his.
Correct. He couldn't go
his house.
far. My mom had agoraphobia years and years ago. It's, Jesus. Yeah, those are
cosmology he
problems.
created with centralized
Oh my
themes
God,
of
2
cosmic
million
horror,
subs.
ancient unknowable and malevolent gods, and everything smelling vaguely of fish. Lovecraft's writing is famous these days for producing an overwhelming sense of sheer hopeless terror at an unfeeling cosmos, wrapped up in visceral descriptions of omnipresent rot and decay, all themes that manage to make perfect sense when contextualized with Lovecraft's life story, which was pretty much a depressing downward spiral from minute one. Lovecraft was born in 1890 to one of those well-off New England families that still thought of themselves as proper English semi-nobility, an image that became harder and harder to maintain due to their perpetual state of
God, does
financial
she
decline.
use the same
Lovecraft was intermittently
soundtrack on every video?
Yeah, and man, her cadence. Like, do you think they speed her up, or is that her cadence? Like, it's so.
Well,
I don't know.
it sounds faster than the last video.
We'd have to take a look at the, what do you call it? There's that, where you look at the waves, her.
Oh yeah, the waveform.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could tell then what they're doing.
but never really finished his education, and had access to a decent library with pretty nifty scientific texts, but had too delicate of a constitution for math, and as such made no progress beyond the basics in any of his fields of scientific study, which explains his thorough misunderstanding of non-Euclidean geometry,
Oh, I guess this twat's name is Lovecraft and known throughout history. Well, I wonder how long she'll last. Versus Lovecraft.
and the concept of an air conditioner. His mother was institutionalized in 1918, but unfortunately we have no idea what was actually wrong with her because the medicine of the time had a tendency to exclusively diagnose women with hysteria, aka...
Wait, in 1918?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they still were diagnosing women with hysteria. They should have.
Well, if you're talking about Sigmund Freud, then yeah. So yeah, that would have been around at the time. But she's obviously going to insert her own diagnosis despite having no information.
aka being a woman disease. When she died in 1921, Lovecraft took it really hard.
Like, no, honey, you just made that assumption. Don't do that.
Started writing The Call of Cthulhu, one of the first stories that brought themes of existential horror into his developing mythos. Lovecraft's lack of marketable skills stopped being much of a problem for him when he married a breadwinner businesswoman in 1924 and moved into his wife's
breadwinner businesswoman.
Breadwinner. Oh, I love
in 1924.
You know what that's called? That's called somebody who loved him, just happened to have money, and then he went and became to be a world famous fucking author. You twat.
Yeah, like. Wow.
Who reshaped
Brooklyn, which he hated more than anything, in large part because New York is one of those places where immigrants happen. Oh yeah.
What?
I told you she's the devil.
But
She's the
didn't
devil.
she cover how he was afraid of everything outside of his hometown?
Yeah, he was agoraphobic, therefore he couldn't go outside. He didn't
Okay,
want to do anything, so he stayed inside, except for all those times that he did go outside.
Yes, Matt, perfectly great.
Yeah, the racism. So Lovecraft's proper New England breeding was a major source of pride for him, and basically...
Don't you be shitting on New England.
Hold on. I love how they look like quotes. My superior blood sets me above the common man because if I'm not inherently exceptional, I can the writing. I'm just another shrinkingly insignificant mote in the cold.
Mote.
See, this doesn't even sound like he's writing though.
No, it doesn't.
Quotes.
And that just be incomprehensible. Oh man, I don't think that's.
Basically, all of his stories have
You know,
seriously
now that I
classist
think
and
about it, I don't even think that's a real picture of him.
Oh,
his
man.
themes, with his heroes being well-educated white dudes with no phonetically transcribed accents, and his villains being literally everybody else. This.
Hold on, I'm not. No. You're not gonna flash something up that quick. Mirror Lovecraft's personal habits and biases.
Well,
all right. Well, I'm sure he's going to give us evidence of his racism.
This being good old English racism, he cared less about skin color directly and more about breeding overall. So there's a number of white people bad guys too.
Well, yeah. Wow, that's weird,
so
huh?
You just contradicted yourself. Well done.
So he mainly focused on bad guys that were people who didn't look like him, apart from the ones that did. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Albeit uneducated, inbred, and poor, but it's no accident a lot of his horror is derived from people crossbreeding with other races. Part of this might have been Lovecraft's clear and obvious discomfort and disinterest with all things sexual, but
you don't know that.
there's also a bunch of racism wrapped up in there. Lovecraft eventually got overwhelmed by the horror of the outside world and moved back home to Providence, lived on a dwindling inheritance for the rest of his life, and died almost completely unknown from intestinal cancer at age 46. Overall, an unpleasant life steeped in mundane misery and crippled by fear at every turn. With the context of Lovecraft's overwhelming disgust and horror for everything he didn't understand, almost his entire body of work begins to make sense. The thing that makes Lovecraftian horror, and the thing that's kept it popular, is this overwhelming fear of the unknown, a concept that easily translates even as the unknown changes with social and scientific developments. Even though Lovecraft's works haven't aged well at all, the underlying principle is sound. If you don't fully understand something, you can interpolate existential horror and turn every mystery into a nightmare of things man was not meant.
So, fill in the gaps of horror, write a story. I can't see the last one.
And separate from that, the aesthetic of horror he chose is also pretty effective on its own. Lovecraft's overwhelming fear of the ocean produced a memorable and viscerally nasty horror aesthetic grounded in slime and rot that was far removed from the cold stone sterility of the previous gothic horror genre. So, all that in mind, let's take a look at a few of the genre-defining short stories cranked out from horrible phobias Lovecraft's darkest nightmares. The Call of Cthulhu is framed as a first-person account from one Francis Wayland Thurston, whose venture into the unknown begins as he's going through the notes left by his great-uncle George Angel, a professor...
Well, now, how is he going to tell us how Cthulhu is racist?
Yeah.
Brown, who recently died under mysterious circumstances. The notes describe a series of interactions between Angel and one Henry Anthony Wilcox, an artist and known airhead who's recently taken to dreaming of ancient sunken cities. An earthquake hit New England on February 28, and that night, Henry had this crazy dream that he was navigating an ancient creepy city covered in green ooze and hieroglyphs, and from the depths of the structure echoed a very spooky voice saying something about Cthulhu in a language he didn't understand. Angel is disproportionately concerned about this dream, and asks if Henry is, by any chance, part of a cult. But Henry's just your average clean-cut New England artist dreaming of things beyond mortal ken. He comes in daily with new dreams, all in the same city, but sometimes different parts of it, and with the same spooky voice saying spooky stuff, until one day, March 23rd, when he doesn't come in at all, because as it turns out, Henry's become very sick and has been deliriously yelling about some giant monster. 9 days later, Henry abruptly gets better and stops having the dreams entirely. Angel launches an investigation, polling a large population for reports of what their dreams were like during the interval when Henry was all wonky. He discovers that salt-of-the-earth working-class folk were totally unaffected, sciencey types had the occasional nightmare, and artists and poets were almost incapacitated by their crazy nightmare.
Okay, so the classes, all right, are affected differently. Okay.
Many of them dreamt of the same city as Henry, along with the same ominous chanting he reported. Overall, the interval between February 28th and April 2nd saw a worldwide spike in madness, mania, and general unrest. That's pretty.
And that was all affecting like the most educated. Either like artists and writers,
right?
And so the people being affected by this Cthulhu is white people. So racist.
It is
pretty spooky.
Why does the story have to be just about white people? Why can't we have black people being, hurt and tortured?
Right.
Angel had asked Henry about cult activity for a reason. This wasn't his first run-in with the name Cthulhu. 17 years prior, in 1908, Angel is attending an academic archaeological get-together when hard-boiled New Orleans cop Inspector Legrasse crashes the party with an ancient and creepy statuette they recently confiscated from a particularly nasty cult, and they need to know what it means. The statuette looks like a weird half-human, half-octopus half dragon.
But 100% Asian.
Yeah, well, they think that, don't they? It's weird.
Thing. The archaeologists pass it around, but nobody can identify the culture of origin and nobody can read the glyphs. The one dude claims he's dealt with a tribe of devil worshippers who seem to have worshipped a similar figure. When asked where the heck he got this statue, Legrasse explains they'd gotten some reports from some friendly swamp-dwelling New Orleansers that some seriously freaky stuff was happening in the swamp, and their women and children kept getting kidnapped. The cops crashed the party and found a large number of very naked cultists dancing around a burning monolith with the statuette on top, surrounded by the extremely dead bodies of all those kidnapped swamp people. Oh, but don't worry, circa 1920s New England readers. I know you want to know the exact ethnic backgrounds and skin color of these cultists before you render moral judgment. Well, don't you worry, Lovecraft has you covered. We've got some Native Americans, some black people, some biracial people, some ethnically ambiguous folk thrown in for
is anyone here familiar with the concept of presentism?
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea in general of projecting modern sensibilities onto previous time periods and then judging them through that.
They've been doing that with Tolkien.
They've been doing that with the founding fathers, with Martin Luther King. Well, no, now they're trying to make him a socialist.
I wish this bitch would fucking stop it. It's irritating as hell. Can we please have a little bit of chronological relativism?
Exactly. I mean, I took the words right out of my mouth. I was also going to add, when she's talking about all these people of color, they all have white faces, and I think that's a bit rude.
That's all like whiteface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's 3 hours for us, man. George, you're going to have to deal with that on your own.
I am. Don't worry.
You're welcome, by the way, for that treasure trove of craziness.
Oh, cool. I might get to 20,000 by the end of the month now.
Thank you. No, that got my goat. That can't be allowed.
Oh, dude, I'm glad. Yeah, man, I'm glad, man. We've been covering this a lot, actually.
I didn't know. Well, you don't invite me anymore, so you know.
Well, I haven't seen you, so I haven't had a chance.
You saw me 2 weeks ago. You still don't send me a link. It's okay.
No, I'll get you.
I got your back, buddy.
We do them sometimes later than this. It's all random. This is the first night that we didn't have like a ton of people come in. You like the last few. What were we doing? Like 60 to 80 people.
Oh, that's awesome.
For like an hour here and then an hour later on.
What happened to culture?
That's because I think they're all from the Ruskia.
Hey man, you ain't gotta be saying that.
What's wrong with? Oh, I see.
He didn't know.
Did you hear about fucking DuckDuckGo?
Yeah.
No.
I put that tweet up.
Just told me. They're now called Trust Gone.
Yeah, Trust. You got that tweet up hours ago. I tagged you in it.
I don't use them. I use Oprah or whatever it's called.
Brave and somebody else I'm looking at. No, what they basically did is what Grant just said is they basically said go fuck Trust. They put out this big tweet, big thread, and they basically stated that they are now censoring Russian disinformation or any information about Russia that they view as disinformation. So that means we're now Google.
Yeah. So
yeah, basically,
there was the one free. You type in something and you'd get that thing up there. Now they're going to block it. So
could you imagine they just destroyed their business model? Their whole thing was not being Google. I
tried to.
Comic said this was going to happen a couple of weeks ago,
but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No.
The reason people went to them is because they're not Google. Now they're Google, and on top of it, they're going to put little. They're going to put news articles like, so let's say you search for Putin said X, Y, and Z. They're not going to show you whatever they think is disinformation, but then they will put what they call qualified top of the line news sources at the top for what you searched for.
So we started watching that Our Death Means Flag because I mean it's so Taka Waikiki was is behind it. I like him a lot, dude. But man, it's all about gay pirates. Like it hasn't started yet, but you can see it coming. But all the reviews are like, "Oh, it's queer centered. All powers for gay." I'm like, "Dude, that can't. I don't know." So I tried to look in to see like if I could find anything going against the all like pirates were gay and they believed in gay marriage and all this other bullshit, right? Nothing. All I found was fucking just article after article saying, "Yeah, pirates gay as fuck." That's all I could find. That's all I can find, bro.
All they see, these people are so delusional. They see a bunch of guys on the ship and immediately assume they're gay.
Well,
I mean,
so they
I don't deny that some of that shit might have gone on.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I mean, you've never heard of that phrase. You've never heard of that phrase, a whore in every port.
Yeah, of course.
Or
that's
like,
saying, like if you see a soldier now that you know mad and you go, how many dicks did y'all find? It doesn't happen to everybody.
I really
I thought you
were gonna say I thought you were gonna say, oh, where were you burnt? No, like
where were you burnt? How many degrees?
Right. No, so like so the whole gay pirate thing, right? So they based the gay marriage part on because pirates would enter a contract with each other saying that, look, if I die, all of my stuff goes to you. It's an inheritance. If you die, I get all your stuff. It was a business deal.
So they killed him right after they.
No, well, yeah, it was a business deal to make trust. You know what? To build that trust between them, right? They took that as like, well, that's how it started, but then it went all gay.
Jesus.
Hey, dude, could you hold my chalice in case I die? I don't want to do that. Oh, your nuts are in it. Okay, I'll take a sip. I mean, here's the thing. I think it's a mistranslation. Yes, there was semen all over the floor, but that's what they were called. The part,
Honestly, it's got to be all the sex stuff for Joshis.
Well, what I thought it was, because you know how Napoleon, like we even have the Napoleon complex because it's all based on the disinformation about him being short. He wasn't short; he was pretty tall.
No, he was actually quite tall for that century.
Yeah, exactly. But they were fucking with him. They were making him look like he was. You know what I mean? They were discrediting him as a man.
Yeah, it's propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so is this because. What you don't want is like if your people leaving to go be a pirate, you're like, yo, you don't want to do that, dude. They're gonna fuck you like immediately. So if you start that, that's gonna keep men from wanting to join in to be,
I disagree with that, Matt, because everyone's been saying that about the Navy for years, and they still have the highest enlisting rate.
Yeah, but now they have women. And what was it? The first one? I don't know if this is true or not, but it's a myth I heard a couple of years ago that. Like a carrier went out and then it had the women on board and then it came back with X amount pregnant or something.
Yeah, that was a British one.
So, dude, my buddy, he was in the Navy.
Sinclair, I think it was.
He would say by the time that they would get back, those chicks would have a fat ass wad of money. All of them.
You know what I once wrote a script was I thought how great it would be if you had, because I was talking to someone in the Navy when I was 25. It was my cousin's friend, and they were saying like when they would go, however, I don't know what they call it. I don't know about that stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever his group would go out for 70 days, he's like they would go out for 70 days and then come back to San Francisco, but he said they would get paid. Like they could have their money either sent to their bank account or they could get paid on the ship.
Right.
And I was like, how come no one ever robbed it? Because he was talking about how when you have 3,000 men on there, how much it is. And he's like, he was like, it's like $20 to $40 million that they keep for a 70-day rotation.
Well, let me ask you a question though. Like, so this was, there were credit cards, right? You had a bank card at this time, right? I don't know what year this was.
88.
Okay. Maybe okay. Well, listen, I think the only reason you would have them pay you on the boat, who is sending out Morse code?
Can someone hear? Yeah, can you hear that? It's like,
it's not me.
Oh, sorry, that's me on my phone typing.
Oh, I thought it was Morse code. I was like,
okay,
dot
Sam,
dot dot line
blink.
dot dot.
Well, didn't they pay
you need help,
over
blink.
there in cash?
What? No, dude. I went to my bank. I had a bank. And by the way, like I think the only reason you get paid on have them paid on the boat is that you can give that money to whatever 3 on shore that's now a 9 on boat that you're wanting to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they said they had a commissary, a super. Like there was a lot of things you could buy on the boat.
Well, I'm sure they accept credit card or debit card.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like I just feel like
so
that
if
is
you wanted cash at camp, you didn't. They wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you could get. Yeah, dude, we had we had a ton of cash. We would use it like if. So, we were rolling through this Mahala one time, right? I was gunning because Brandon was at Minesweeper course, and so I'm up in the gun, and wow, this dude was so dumb. Like we're going, and wires from the generator got stuck underneath my my 240 in the turret, right? And and I say, stop. He looks up and goes, go, and takes off and almost ripped me out the fucking vehicle. And like we ripped down the wires, and we had to stop. And so yeah, we cut him some cheddar because you would have cash with you just in case things like that happen. You give him some money, no problem.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah.
Did you pay for it out of your pocket, or they?
No,
gave you money to...
No, yeah, you had to sign it out.
Cheese. That's what he said. He just gave him some cheese.
Yeah, man, you just cut it. Yeah, you sign it out. Man, dude, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we had to probably pay cash at the Haji shop. So I mean, but they had ATMs or whatever. Like, yeah.
So they didn't take a payroll. Basically, they didn't have like safes full of cash where it's like, okay, payday.
No, not. I mean, there was a ton of cash, but that was all being used to pay people off.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. Like people show up at the gate with a dead, kid or whatever. They would look at the chart. Okay, let's see here. Boy, age 12.
How do they account for that money? Like it's like here's your $10 million. It's like how did someone just not go? Yeah, a little bit goes over here, a little bit goes over here.
What money, George?
Yeah. So you would sign for it, right? Like you would sign for it with anything else. So they would have a record. Also, when you leave, they rip apart your vehicle, like every bit of it, because people would be trying to sneak AKs out, opium, whatever.
Wow.
So,
dude, no, that's not true. Biden just leaves them. I saw that.
True. I mean, because before then,
if you're giving money to pay off like a local warlord, and you're sent over there, and you go, yeah, I signed out $1 million. Okay, yeah, he took the $1 million. How did I know you didn't give him 50 grand? Like, I'm just curious. I've always been curious about that.
I guess trusted them. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Have you seen Three Kings? That's based on a true story.
No, it's not. It's not based. It's a great movie, not based on a true story.
I love Three Kings. When he traked him, Jesus.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, he had that sucking air wound.
Yeah, sucking chest wound.
Sucking chest wound.
Yeah,
that was Mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, Maki Mak. Yeah. Oh, they did a great job too, like with the plastic that you have to put there. Like, because we were taught all that in our med courses and shit. Leave the Humvee, take the canoe.
Leave the Humvee, take the canoe.
Oh man, but yeah, no, there was a reason why they didn't let like E4s and E3 sign out $1 million. Like you're talking E7, E8.
Okay.
But they would get it signed. So basically, like your unit. Well, so yeah, like your squadron would sign out the money, and then your specific like troop would sign out from the squadron. Then the troop would have it, and then they would have the platoon sign it out, and all the way down, right? And then I end up with $5 in my pocket. And like, hey, if you kill anybody today, there you go, 5. That should cover it.
Make sure you tell them it's American. It's worth more.
Oh yeah, dude. It reminds me of Euro Trip where they end up in some,
5 cents.
Yeah, and then the dude at the hotel, he's like, "You see this? I'm gonna start my own hotel." It was like a fucking penny. But yeah, no, there was definitely shady shit going on with the money. Like it, dude. There was shady shit everywhere because like even the drones that were in the air, they weren't looking, for insurgents or whatever. They were watching us to see if we're gonna fuck up.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Did they not trust y'all?
Well, no, it's about the media. So if we fuck up in the media, dude, remember those CBS reporters that got hit in Baghdad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so that was my old unit that I was in, 112 Infantry. I was in the scout platoon there, and my buddy was actually out there with them that day, and he was gunning. His hands got burnt, face a little bit, but other than that, he was fine. But yeah, he said that the interpreter they had him pull over because there was graffiti, right? And so he was going to go, interpret it, ran the fuck off, and then IED was a daisy chain.
I don't know what the daisy chain, you mean literally one after the other?
Yeah. They're just linked.
Jesus. And the guy betrayed y'all?
Yeah. This was my old unit, yeah.
Did y'all get the guy?
I don't know what happened. That was my unit. And we got hurt about the same time. I think he got hit probably a couple weeks before I did. But No, dude, our interpreters were cool.
I was gonna say I've heard plenty of stories about interpreters that have been, with units in that for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, legit. You get a good. Well, that's why you have to keep the good ones, man. You got to know.
I'm saying 2 years and still turning on them.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's what I said. My mate Steve. That's what happened to a unit that he knew. I don't know if it was his one directly or anything, but yeah, there was the same guy was that for two and a half years, and then got him to go down this one market, and that they ended up, getting bombarded with everything, got blown up, and I mean they won in the end, but it was and they said they couldn't believe it. It's like, this guy we would consider a brother, like a friend and everything, and he was the one that set the whole thing up.
That's insane, because like we had probably about 3 that we really trusted, right? Yeah, Joe motherfucker.
How did you know to trust him? That's what I'm asking.
You feel it. Okay. You interact with him. You know what I mean? Like pretty much like with anybody.
The guy's name's Joe motherfucker. Of course you trust him.
Exactly. Well, we had 2 Joes. No, Joe motherfucker though. He would never tell us what he did before the war, but he was somewhere. He was somewhere very high up and very elite, because like this, he disappeared for like 2 days, right? And he comes back and we're like, Joe, where you been? He goes, oh man, I was on my way home. These guys, they got me. They threw me in the trunk. No shit. How'd you get out of there? They opened the trunk.
Wow.
Cool, man. Dude, we were doing this small kill team, and we're in this Haji house, right? So we have like the family there. We have our interpreter and everybody. You know what I mean? Because we're doing basically a OPLP. We're watching a high priority target until they raid, and then we'll do Overwatch during the raid, right? So we're there, and this is like in the middle of the Sunni Shiite like civil war, right? So shit was popping off between them all the time, and
they didn't like each other.
No, they did not. Anyway, it's almost a riot in front of this house, dude. And we're so in the yard. There's like the fence or whatever is like a brick wall, and so we're stacked up. And Sergeant Brown, who was in charge or whatever, he's like, dude, if they point a single fucking gun over, light them all up. I don't give a fuck, right? So we're calling QRF to come out there, and Joe goes, no, I got this. He goes out in the middle between the 2 groups, right? And he's just like looking at one group, goes, Durga Muhammad Jihad, and look at the other group, Durga Muhammad Jihad. And this dude comes up and tries to shove him with the AK, right? And he grabs the AK and he does like this, and the thing is in pieces on the ground.
Wow.
And then he goes, Durga Muhammad Jihad, and they all leave. That's it. We're like, Joe, what'd you say to him? I told them who I was.
Oh shit.
Come, we'll have chai.
Damn.
That was it, dude. Ran them all off because took apart the AK like it was a cartoon, like in a dust, and all you can see was a dust cloud, and then it's in pieces.
See, this is the thing that you've got to understand. Other countries also have their own version of Rambo.
Yeah. But it seems like you needed like a couple of thousand of those guys to just go into.
Why didn't you just clone Joe?
Right. That dude, man, he was cool, dude. There was 1 or 2 like, you always, oh dude, fuck the fucking camel spider, fuck that shit.
What?
Dude, you don't know what a camel spider is?
No, sir.
Man, you can hear them running on the fucking asphalt, dude. They're like a face.
Joke. Someone talked about that. Was it you that talked about that?
Yeah, dude. Camel spiders are real.
Okay.
They're big and yellow. They look like bananas.
No, but you can hear them. I mean, you're making them sound like aliens.
Because they're fucking aliens.
Huggers. Yeah, like the the face huggers. Yeah.
Jesus. What about the Kurds? Did they ever give y'all any?
I wasn't up there. I was in Baghdad. They were up north.
Jesus. That's huge.
Yeah.
And you could hear them? And they would come. What would they do? I mean, would they come into?
Oh, dude, I never had to fuck with them. Like I never ran into them. But yeah, man, dude, these things. Look at that. Looks goofy as shit. Yeah, these things don't play, dude. So I was sitting in on this meeting. It was like some locals or whatever, and again, the Civil War thing is popping off, right? So this colonel's trying to talk to them, right? And the dude goes, no, listen. You leave our country to us, man. We'll take care of it. No Sunni, no problem, right? And the colonel's like, you're talking about genocide. He goes, what? No, not the Jews. The Sunni. I don't even know if we had. I don't think we have Jews. It was just funny because, like, when he heard genocide, he immediately was like, "What, Jews? No."
Because they hate each other. The Sunni.
Yeah, well, no, but like, Jews are so they're associated with genocide so much.
Genocide, yeah.
Yeah, that's just where he thought. I had to leave the room. I was laughing. Yeah, man, you could hear them goose stepping on the paper. Oh, I was lighting it. Damn it! Fine, you do it.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, hey, look, I got a couple of mad stories then tonight on top of everything.
I love mad stories. When are you doing this again?
We may do it tonight.
Tonight.
Depending on how long Matt goes.
Okay.
Over at Flower Ball.
Yeah, I don't like stepping on too many people.
Oh, it depends on how intoxicated he gets.
Yeah. And I may leave early because I know I've noticed, like, when I'm on there, we seem to go a little bit later than normal. Like, I know this is gonna sound braggadocious, but like I've been on streams, everything's going great, everybody's, and then I'll leave and they end it like within 15 minutes because they just don't have anything left.
That's cool.
It's
Hey, you don't come on the comics anymore. Why is that? I don't see.
I don't get the invite.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd come on if I got the invite. I went on Monday.
He was down your way like yesterday or the day before. I was surprised.
Who,
he
comics?
through the window. Yeah.
Oh,
the ranch.
Oh no, dude! I live closer to his. I don't live close to the ranch. I live close to.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, there you go.
His extra house. Yeah, I still can't. Like, I don't even know what movie theater he goes to.
Damn.
I don't know why he doesn't go to the nice one. But yeah, no, we're gonna meet up when Culture gets down here. Huh?
He goes to the one that the backs of the seats are always sticky.
Yeah. For sure. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna get Mad Tales of Madness out of here. Y'all got anything you need to?
Nope.
Oh, my. So yeah, I'm still kind of awake, so I'm gonna probably finish up on that Matsplanation Animal Kingdom, talking about the rhinosaur.
What the hell is that?
What? Oh, a rhinosaur, bro! It's the last living dinosaur.
I've never heard of a rhino.
Yeah, it's a rhino. It has like a big horn in front.
I know what a rhino is.
Yeah, rhinosaur.
No, it's called a rhino.
Well, looks like you're gonna need to see the video.
Okay, I'll watch it. When's it coming out?
I'll put it out. We can watch it in the back. It's not that long. I'll put it up. It's like 6-7 minutes.
Have you seen all these people gaming online and streaming?
I wonder. Clones, you got anything?
Nick and I, well, rather Nick, because he's the only one keeping it alive at this point. Nick's got a couple of videos out in the last couple of days. I'd like to get them into their 20s in terms of views. Just the last couple of videos, the reaction to the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer and an article about diversity in the Rings of Power. That might be of some interest. Please give it a look-see, give it a like, give it a comment. You know what to do. Let's see if we can get it above 20 views. That would be excellent.
Hey,
and of course, if you haven't, please like and subscribe.
When y'all tweet it out, just start tagging me in your in your videos, and I can retweet y'all from there.
I don't tag people. I think that's, I don't know.
I tag you all the time.
What if they tell you? You can tag me. I'll send it out.
Yeah. Let George send it out too.
Yeah, because if George
feel a bit weird doing that.
Well, yeah, it would be weird if we weren't telling you to do it. Like, it would be different if you're just tagging us.
Well, tag me, Matt, in yours because mine comes out at 7 a.m. My new one.
Oh, that's early. All right, everybody.
Schedule it.
Anywho,
hey,
yeah.
Yep. Thanks to everybody.
If you haven't already, hit the like button for this stream and make sure you subscribe. It's free.
Yeah,
and it doesn't cost you anything either.
Yeah, and we know who subscribes and who doesn't. We're making a list. You've been warned.
Twice.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here.
Savvy.
Hey, Law Dog. Law don't go around here.
Echo.
Who sings that?
Law Dog.
That's Alligator Dave. He's one of the greatest Texas artists of all time. He's from Houston.
And fun fact, he's not actually an alligator. That's just in his name.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorites.
I can't believe he's dead.
Yeah, you should hear his song